Christianity is Cancer, if you can briefly touch on that.
Oh yeah, it's a new series. Um, well, let me give my little introduction here. Hello everyone, this is Reality Sunday number 12. I got actually have two new people here that, uh, yeah, we got AJ James, we got Patrick Thatcher, we got two new people, we got
It's
Alexandra.
secular lobster, god damn it, get it fucking right.
I'm sorry, Secular Lobster. We have Life as We Know It, and we have Alexandra, who, if she doesn't mind me saying, she's Wiccan.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. I'm Alexandrie, French-Canadian version of Nadia. But I'm not communist. I'm not atheist. I'm not. I might have some interest in atheism a lot. But yeah, let's go on.
Oh yeah. Uh, what was I? Oh yeah, to what Life said. Yeah, I'm gonna be starting a new series here. It's called Christianity is Cancer, and the reason I'm doing this is because to me, it's like them calling the kettle black, pretty much. I'm just trying to show them, hey, your religion isn't exactly a religion of peace either. That's pretty much why I'm doing it. So, if any of you guys have any you know, wacko Christians you want me to respond to, just send me the link to the video and I'll respond to them. Or I'll respond to some I find myself. Oh, hey, Doctor.
Howdy.
Long time. What you been up to?
Doctor,
Oh,
I've got this pain in my rectum right now. Can you give me something for it, please?
not that type of doctor. No, I've been in and out of the
My
hospital a
mistake,
lot
my
lately.
mistake. I didn't mean it.
What was that, Doctor?
No, I've just been in and out of the hospital a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
Like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Like, what was the deal with your hand there?
Well, it just felt weird, so we went and had X-rays done of it, and like there was a couple small cuts on it, but like parts of my hand were fractured, but only small, so it'll be a couple weeks before it's actually better. But like but my coworker snapped his femur trying to skateboard,
Oh,
so
damn. Mm.
so I've been visiting him a lot lately.
Ah, man, that even creeps me out, man. I can't imagine snapping a bone. Hey, AJ, I don't think I said hi hey to you when you walked in here.
Hello.
By the way, I loved your last rant video.
Yes, a lot of people got pissed off.
Oh, you want to go talk about pissed off? The last video I did, I actually lost 2 subscribers because of it.
Only two, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I think that's just actually the first time that's ever happened, at least on my channel.
It doesn't surprise me that some people will go to very lengthy lengths to support someone that has a similar view to them.
But if you
For
go too
Solid
far,
Crow and Adam Eveline, I don't hate them, but they really needed to be called out. And their supporters just raided the comment sections, and I even have a newfound stalker, too.
oh boy, not that again.
Ooh,
Yeah,
tell us about the stalker.
Who is he?
it was this guy named It's Kraz, ITZ CRAZ. And he first came to me on my YouTube channel talking about Leafy is Here, if you don't know who he is. Leafy is Here is infamous for being a drama starter and being exactly like that guy Keemstar. Well, I made a video criticizing both of them, and Itzkraz came to me and said, hey, let's meet up on Skype and talk about what our views are. I did. And, well, he seemed to be like a really nice guy. But then he started getting really creepy. He started following me on every video I did, especially about religion, and started bashing me. When I finally blocked him and told him that I was done with him, he started saying sorry and deleted some of his videos, which were copying Leafy is Here. I reported him for copying a YouTuber, stalking, and harassment. But he's making
Well-
multiple accounts.
You know, that yellow, you know, for stalking, I mean, that yellow pyramid you got there is pretty hot, you know, so I can understand why he'd be stalking you.
It's not over. He has made at least 5 alternate accounts within a month, trying
That's
to.
when you know you've hit the big time.
Oh yeah, I've had my share. I haven't had that many, but the big, I think the most infamous troll I've had on my channel is Darwin's Deity. Oh man, that
Oh
big
yeah, I
doctor was
had him on my channel too, man.
He's just a
Oh my god, he's a fucking nightmare.
cunt
The
rag.
last time he was in my, I think Doctor remembers this. The last time he was in my hangout, he asked the same question 4 fucking times.
Was that with True Sherm?
Yes.
That was
Oh
hilarious.
man. Like I wanted to kick him out, but I just love reactions when it comes to people. So, Life, this is the first time I've had you on my channel. My understanding is that you are a MGTOW, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm a MGTOW.
I never quite understood what exactly that means. You mind like spelling that out for me?
Oh, it stands for men going your own way, and it's basically men protecting themselves from women in a way. You know, we're against marriage, and a lot of us are against having children, because basically the way the laws are set up is set up against husbands and fathers.
Oh yeah, I would agree to that.
I don't
Yeah,
know
me
what I just
too.
walked into, but I agree.
Oh yeah, I was just explaining to him what MGTOW is.
Oh, okay.
True Sherm talks about it a lot, and I know you're friends
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, I mean, him
Oh,
or
yeah.
both.
I mean, I don't plan on having any kids, but if it happens, it happens. That's really my attitude.
Oh yeah, I
And
don't try to impose my beliefs on others. I just try to live my life the best way I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like, if if at some point I have kids, I want to get rid of those fuckers as fast as possible. So fuck it.
Oh yeah, AJ James, I saw your one of your videos talking about the anime show called Serial Experiments Lane, and I actually watched it, and it's really good.
Told ya.
well, what's the
Yeah.
anime called?
Cutie. Cutie.
What's the anime called?
It's called
Serial Experiments Lane. It's one of the top psychological, trippy, sci-fi animes in the world.
My whole life is like that.
Did it just come out, or?
It's very old, but it seems like it's not old. The animation and characters and writing are beyond its time. That's why it wasn't very popular at first.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of those things. After you watch it, it'll make you like question things, like questioning your reality and stuff like that.
Damn, I gotta see this. Oh yeah, Doctor, what did you think about true empiricism on the atheist experience?
I'm gonna try and get that $20.
What? What $20?
Oh, Matt Dillahunty had that challenge for anybody that if they could take that little response that Ronnie had and make sense of it, you get $20 from Matt Dillahunty.
Oh man. Not like I saw it was live and I just tuned in for a second, then I heard the voice and like, oh man, not Ronnie. What is he doing? Man, that was
awesome.
as painful as Ray Comfort trying to disprove evolution.
No, because Ray Comfort has a nice voice, so at least he has that.
Oh, speaking of Ray Comfort, I saw this. I was like searching through his channel to find, I guess, videos I can respond to, and I saw the most fucking ridiculous ass cartoon.
What? Please tell me.
Give me a second. It's the video's called "Are You a Good Person?" and it's just, oh my god, it's like cringeworthy. I kid you not.
Are you a good person?
Yes, that's what the video is called, and it is fucking cringy.
guy. You think you're nice? This guy is really nice.
Well, I try to do what's right.
He's so nice that if good people get to heaven, he'll be the first in line.
Ah, shucks.
So,
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Nice Guy, have you kept the 10 Commandments?
Pretty much.
Do you mind if we take a look at them and maybe see how nice you really are?
Okay.
Great. Here's one. You shall not lie. Mr. Nice Guy, have you ever told a lie?
Well, yeah. Who hasn't?
What do you call somebody who tells lies?
A liar.
All right. How about another commandment? You shall not steal. Have you ever stolen anything, even once?
Nope.
But you just told me you're a liar.
Well, I did steal some candy.
What is this?
Yeah, exactly. I told you it was cringeworthy.
Mr.
This
Nice
is
Guy,
just
have
Ray
you ever,
Comfort shtick, just turned into a cartoon.
Mr. Nice Guy, have you ever boiled a baby goat in its own mother's milk?
Hey, Mr. Nice Guy, have you ever made your wife sleep outside when she's on her period?
Because if you haven't,
Have you stoned anyone to death lately?
Oh, trust me, it gets better.
Once when I was a kid.
And what do you call someone who steals?
A thief.
All right, let's try another one. You shall not commit adultery.
Oh, that's easy. I'd never cheat on my wife.
Hi, handsome.
Oh, baby. Jesus said, if you even look at a woman with
what? Wait, hold on. They just tricked him into committing adultery.
Exactly.
They tricked him into it.
adultery with her in your heart. Oh.
So Jesus is going to once again convict us of a thought crime. What a loving God.
I know, right?
Right. One more. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Have you ever used God's name to curse?
Oh my!
They said.
Oh man, I think it's more funny than cringy.
God gave you life and breath and everything you have, and you've dragged His name through the dirt. So, by your own admission, you're a liar, a thief, a blasphemer, and an adulterer at heart. And that's just 4 of the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, that's the only thing that has anything to do with modern day morality.
Yeah, everything else is completely outdated and would never happen.
Exactly. I think what 6 or 7 have nothing to do with modern day morality whatsoever.
Actually, like, have you ever drawn a picture, Mr. Nice Guy? Well, then you're fucked. You're going to hell. You're not supposed to draw anything.
Do you have any other idols? Oh.
Yeah.
Stone is Boney. I'm glad I have you here.
Oh, great.
I did make a video response to this guy in case you saw, but I definitely want your opinion on this guy.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna.
All right, hold on. Stop. Like, don't even play it. This guy already looks insane. I mean, who has like 2 American flags in the background? Like, what the fuck?
That's what I was thinking.
No,
and also, is that facial hair or is that just lighting?
I think it's facial hair.
If that's facial hair, that is the worst facial hair I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Also, he needs a new fucking haircut.
Did he comb over his hair when he's not even balding?
I think so.
What the fuck? What is wrong with you?
It kind of looks like he doesn't have eyebrows.
Alright, just play the fucking video.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second, but really my main rant of the day is...
Alright, stop again.
Yeah.
His voice is cancer.
Dude, I made a video response to this guy. If I can take it, you can take it.
Okay. He has 0 subs. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Bro, they get to me every day. I just can't even contemplate their ideology. I mean, and it's amazing to me that I was raised a Democrat and like I still just can't even.
Okay, no one's raised a Democrat or Republican. Like, seriously. Like, you can't even vote until you're 18, so it doesn't matter what your parents are. They can't, like, when you're 14, they can't, like, all right, go vote for Rick Perry. They can't do that because you can't even vote until you're old enough to move out anyway, so you're not raised a Democrat. What?
Yeah.
I'm obviously now a Republican as I grow older. But let's see, their liberal logic, guns cause crime and making it harder to get...
No, stop. Straw man. That's a straw man. That is not what we said. We are saying that we want to pass common sense gun reform that makes it harder to get a gun, like just period, and that crazy people can't get guns, make it so there's a waiting period to get a gun, make it so you have mental health and background checks. This is what we want. We don't think guns cause crime, but they bolster crime. Okay, continue.
Oh, by the way, if anyone else wants to comment, go ahead.
Crime. I hate to tell you liberal idiots, but criminals and terrorists with a prior criminal history don't use gun stores. They buy guns on the street. And
stop. That is why we proposed a gun buyback program, so that we can take these guns out of circulation.
Gun dealers or arms dealers, whatever, abroad in, Syria and Iraq, Afghanistan.
Okay, stop. Okay, your random ghetto gun dealer is not getting guns from Al-Qaeda, okay?
Exactly.
A lot of these guns are purchased legally, and the ones that aren't are purchased in the United States and can be taken out of circulation with a gun buyback program. Well, not guaranteed, but we have 300 million guns in this country. We have as many guns as we do people. That's insane. We do not need that amount.
Yeah, and fun little fact, I think from a recent study came out that said from 2002 to 2015, 85% of the terrorist attacks that have happened here happened with guns, not with bombs.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not like, besides recently in the Orlando killer, he was one of few that used a gun store. And even so, a lot of terrorism isn't even used. They don't even use guns. They use...
That's right. Yeah, that's why I brought that up, yeah.
We're not talking about... When we talk about, gun regulation, most of the time the crime we're talking about is some sort of mass shooting, which is not necessarily terrorism. Terrorism is something different. We're talking about domestic crimes, mass shootings, murder, things like that.
Most of which are done by disturbed individuals.
Indeed.
Pipe bombs, all sorts of chemicals that you can just buy at the store. What's next? We're going to eliminate these everyday chemicals? I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense. Another liberal logic. Illegal immigrants come here with the hopes of a better opportunity.
Okay, now this part, I'm telling you right now, is going to piss me off, and it may piss a lot of you off. So just...
Me too.
Yeah.
Hold on, stop.
Of criminals across the border.
What?
These families that want better lives still break the law to get here. So, I don't care if you come over here and you're the best person in the world and, you have no intent on causing any crime or, committing any crime.
Causing crime, not doing crime, causing it. Very important distinction.
And receive benefits that you don't truly deserve when there's other deserving people out there.
And who the hell
who decides who deserves benefits?
And definitely not you. And the point I made in my video, who else were legal immigrants in this country? The fucking founding fathers. They did not have the Native Americans' permission to be here.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have to disagree.
Yeah.
Most of the founding fathers were born in the colonies, and the ones that weren't traveled here legally from France and Britain and Spain.
Well, poor choice of words, but I was talking about the people that actually came over here. I guess you are right that there's a poor choice.
And it wasn't illegal; it was conquest. This land is ours by right of conquest. The Native Americans lost. Fuck them.
Oh, I know they lost, but it doesn't change the fact that his logic.
So what if 1 million illegal immigrant Mexicans came over to the United States and had 10 kids each? Would all those 10 kids each be legal by your definition?
Under my definition, Like I don't know. I don't know what what you mean by my definition. Under the Constitution, yes.
So you agree with it?
I didn't say that.
I
didn't say I disagree either. I'm going to remain perfectly neutral because I have not calculated my position on this adequately, so I'm going to remain silent.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear what you think on that. And it's funny because the title of this video is called "One Millennial's Opinion," but he's a millennial himself.
Oh yeah, I think that's the whole point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that's pretty much what he's saying. He's just saying.
I mean, I agree. Millennials are fucking retarded. Like as a collective, they're all retarded. I'm a millennial. I don't care. I'll say that. Fuck millennials.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, keep playing. I want to know.
All right.
I want to keep going. I like this guy.
If you're gonna spend $5,000 or whatever it may be to get smuggled across the border, I think you could put that money to better use into actually coming here. At least
Okay, most people, it does not cost $5,000 to cross the border illegally. That's the entire point. It's illegal. Most of the time they could do it for free by just walking across the fucking desert. I don't understand how it costs $5,000 to cross here illegally.
And as far as them crossing legally, I'm pretty sure it takes years for them to do that anyway.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and then if you're a poor family, I'm sure you don't have the time.
See, I don't think people should cross the border illegally. That's granted. But at the same time, I think it should still at least be easier for like economic migrants coming from Mexico to get here. Like it shouldn't take years, especially from a country as unstable as Mexico.
Yeah.
So do you disagree with the people from the UK coming over and conquering the United States? Well, coming over and conquering America, killing the Native Americans?
I did not live at that point, so
I'm just asking if you agree with it or disagree with it.
If I lived in that time, if you just transported me back in time, I would probably be speaking out against it.
Gotcha.
But I don't disagree or agree with it because I live here, and what's done is done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point I was making in my video is that obviously we're all descendants from immigrants as well, even if it was through contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
You overstay your visa, at least we know you're in the country, And I don't know, it makes no sense.
I'm going to skip some of this because he gets into stuff about Hillary Clinton that we all can agree on.
Another liberal logic that I've been seeing a lot of is that Hillary Clinton is a good choice for president.
Yeah.
What?
Hillary Clinton is not a liberal.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton is not a liberal. She is a center-right corporatist fuck.
Yeah, I don't like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's why I said I was going to skip it because he says a lot of stuff that we actually can agree with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or whatever the hell the word is that people say to say that he hates Muslims and all this shit, but no, he doesn't hate Muslims. He hates these radical terrorists.
Oh yeah, this is about Donald Trump.
Terrorists that are blowing up our fucking cities. Like, how does that happen?
Hold on.
Exactly.
So it's like San Diego in ruins right now, and I didn't hear about it. Did like ISIS just come over here and blow the whole fucking city up? Like,
exactly.
Did I miss something? Is San Diego now like Islamistan?
Maybe, who knows? He looks like Benjamin Button's bastard child. Were you talking about this guy, Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Like, if you're Muslim and you walk in the door, he's gonna talk to you and he's gonna be a normal human being. But until you go yelling Allah Akbar and pulling.
Okay, then why did he want to ban all?
Yeah, why does he want to ban all Muslim travel to the United States? That's just ludicrous. Until we figure out what's going on, and he said that multiple times. That's just a line.
I mean,
it's like he doesn't. What does he mean by figure out what's going on? We know what the fuck's going on, or at least anyone with a brain does.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't know if you can consider that xenophobic per se, but I mean, slightly.
I mean, I think you can. Racist, no, because Islam's not a race.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Then he's not gonna like that form of Islam. I don't know how people don't understand that.
Okay, can you tell me? Okay, shut the fuck up. You can't talk about forms of Islam. Can you tell me the difference between Sunni and Shia Muslims? Can you? No, you can't. Can you tell me the difference between Sunni and Ahmadiyya Muslims? No, you can't. You don't even know what the fuck form of Islam is. So fuck you.
Most of the time I can't either. So.
Yeah, me neither. They all look the same.
Racist.
Okay, no, okay, hold on. An Ahmadiyya Muslim does not look anything like a Sunni Muslim. They have like these. I don't know how to fucking explain it, but let's just keep going. That's fine. Ignorance is not necessarily a bad thing.
Bad thing, yeah.
Liberals have no idea what.
Oh, this is the best part.
They have no idea when they insult Republicans. Like it's always the same insults. Racist, sexist, gun-loving, war-starting, gay-hating, the worst form.
Okay, stop the war starting. Okay. George Bush definitely started a few wars, okay? Like, that happened. Like, we are living in the same reality, right? Like, George Bush definitely declared war on Iraq.
Without going through Congress, by the way.
Yeah, without going... Like, it went through Congress after we already declared the war. So, he circumvented Congress, which is unconstitutional. You're supposed to have to go through Congress before a declaration of war can be passed.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was going to say most of that stuff he actually said is actually true. I mean, we don't just say it for no reason.
Well, see, I'm an individualist in this. I'm like, not every Republican's racist or sexist or anything like that, but the Republican Party has more individual racists and individual sexists and things like that in that party.
Oh yeah, I mean, I said that in my video as well. I said we're not saying every Republican, but from what I've seen, the majority of them are.
Hashtag not all. Hashtag not all.
Exactly.
Total bullshit, okay? Us Republicans, left, right, whatever, if you're moderate or if you're, real far right, whatever you may be, you care about the Constitution, you care about our rights, you care about fiscal conservatism.
No, they don't. Okay, this is the same party that still supports the NRA program, which is a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
NSA.
NSA, thank you. I don't know why I said NRA. Sorry.
NRA is the National Rifle Association. Which one could argue that's also
and whining about those unelected judges on the Supreme Court.
Well, I mean, the Republicans do a lot of things. Besides individual Republicans doing things that I think are unconstitutional, the Republican Party itself has done things that aren't unconstitutional, but I think should be. Like, for instance, taking money from special interests and shit, and completely ignoring the will of the American people. 90% of the American people want common sense gun reform, and the Republicans keep blocking it because they're taking money from the NRA, who takes money from gun manufacturers. That should be unconstitutional in my mind.
No,
yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, I mean the same thing with fucking healthcare.
Conservatism, not blowing all this money on all this social welfare when millions of them are willing and able, matter of fact, to earn a standard living. At least a bit of a living, not just totally living off the government.
But what do you propose we do with these people anyway? Just let them starve in the streets? Is that what you want us to do?
I think he wants to deport all those people.
Just deport them to Canada?
Or wherever. Deport them anywhere. That's what he's thinking is.
Let ISIS take care of them.
and just stating the obvious here, most people on these welfare programs are working full-time jobs.
Yeah, multiple full-time jobs in some cases.
Exactly.
They say we're all these things when it's just not true. Like I said, being a Republican, you care about the Constitution.
You do not. You do not. You care about your own views.
Can you not recite it from memory, but can you tell me the gist of the Fourth Amendment, for example? No, you can't. I guarantee it. What about the Eighth Amendment? Well, the Seventh Amendment. Any of these amendments, can you tell me what they are? No, of course you can't.
No, because they only cite the amendment when it's convenient to their argument.
They only know two. They only know two amendments. They know the First Amendment, so they know to get rid of that, and the Second Amendment, so that they can fucking cling to their guns for the entire fucking.
Which, by the way, to my knowledge, it doesn't. The Second Amendment has nothing to do with individual rights.
Oh yeah, it does not. It says a well-regulated militia, the right to bear arms for a well-regulated militia, which applied directly to slave patrols, because when the southern states were the ones pushing for the Second Amendment to the Constitution, so, otherwise they wouldn't join the Union. So they could have militias to prevent slave revolts. That's what the Second Amendment's about.
Yeah, and also, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it was also about warriors of war at the time keeping their muskets after the war.
No.
I'm wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Okay, sorry. I don't know where I read that from.
I mean, that was allowed, but that wasn't the purpose of the Second Amendment.
Okay, I was wrong.
Care about, being true to the forefathers and the founding fathers idea of America, not, turning us into...
Okay, stop.
Yeah, what if their idea is wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That they designed the Constitution so that we could amend it and change it with time. Why would we want to go back to 1776 America when we're in 2016? Let's look at the We're supposed to be able to look at the Constitution and revise it as necessary to change with the times. It was supposed to be a living document to change with the times.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson said that we should draft a new Constitution every 10 years.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. It's outdated.
Yeah, I mean, what he's about to say is just, the sentence he's about to say is just historically inaccurate.
Welfare fucking state. Oh my god. I'm like scared for my generation. I'm 21. Okay, I'm scared for my generation because they're turning into straight socialists. I mean, our forefathers died to fight communism and
Stop.
No, they didn't.
What?
Okay, our founding fathers did not die to fight communism, as the Communist Manifesto didn't even come out until like the late 19th century. Or early 20th century. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but no, our founding fathers did not die to fight socialism and communism. By the way, you're a socialist.
Yeah, and Ben Franklin died of old age. So
you sir, Mr. Riley Fatigue, you are a socialist. Do you believe in the military? Do you think the military should be government funded? You're a socialist.
Thank you. That's what I always bring up. And in fact, I think don't know why, but I was looking on dictionary.com for the difference between them, so I can explain in my video. And I think the idea of communism didn't come out until like the late 18th century.
Oh yeah, it was either the late 19th century. It was the late 1800s or the early 1900s. I do not remember exactly when it came out. The Communist Manifesto, that is.
Talking about an idea that was, way past the founding fathers. So that's inaccurate.
By like a century.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like they fought against the whole taxation without representation type of thing, right?
Yeah, they wanted the thing that sparked the Revolutionary War was a combination of things, including the British imposing taxes on the colonies without representatives in the Parliament. So that was one thing. There was also British soldiers doing shit to the colonists and trying to oppress them, and all kinds of shit that all culminated in us eventually declaring ourselves an independent country.
Yep.
Go to socialism. I think there was a poll the other day that like 50-some% of the millennials would go to socialism. Like they think it's a good idea. I'm like, thanks, Bernie Sanders.
Do you know what socialism is? Do you even know what socialism means? Like, do you know what that word means? Socialism essentially means socially funded, right? That's essentially where the word comes from. It comes from us as a society working together on something. The military is an example of this. Your police forces are an example of this. Hospitals, jails, all this stuff. This is socialism. These are socialist systems.
And by the way,
we are proposing, when we say we're democratic socialists, is to take this idea and mix it with democracy, make it, which is not exactly grammatically correct, but this point still stands, so that we can all, as a society, fund things like healthcare for everyone. So we all rather than having one person have to pay for all their medical bills, we as a society can all contribute a little bit, and $100,000 medical bill spread out over 300 million Americans. That's like a cent per person. It's something ridiculously low. That's the idea of it, not to reduce the cost of medical bills, as an example.
Yes, as in with communism. Communism is pretty much where everything is owned by the government, and by the way, in communism, there's no such thing as a private business. I don't think.
No. Well, communist China right now is allowing some private businesses, like some people, to own private businesses. They're slowly becoming more capitalist as they go on.
China hasn't been communist for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, they've been international capitalists for a long time, but socially they've been more communistic for a while. But they're starting to mix that international capitalism in with their normal domestic society and their things like that.
Yeah, I think of it somewhere a few weeks ago. I think Cuba's starting to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, Cuba is definitely starting to become more capitalist in nature, which is a good thing. I think when you take I think you're better coming from communism to capitalism than you are going from capitalism to communism. Just because I don't know, I feel like it's working better for both of these countries than it did for Russia going from capitalist to communist.
Oh yeah.
Mind to thinking everybody should be equal and like everyone earn the same.
Wait, hold on.
Shit.
Exactly.
Everybody is equal. We're
that's already a thing.
Exactly.
He's confusing equality. We are proposing equality of opportunity, so that everyone has an equal opportunity to survive and to live with equality of outcome. That's what communism is. Communism is equality of outcome, essentially. So everyone gets the same pay. Everyone gets, everyone's equal. It's a classless society. That's the idea behind communism. We are proposing. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as far as socialism goes, he acts like he's unaware that there are already socialist countries. That these are countries that have better health care, better education than us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Canada is awesome.
Yeah.
Canada is not a socialist country. Only one province is socialist. Yep, my province.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, hold on. What?
I didn't know that, but okay.
Hold on.
I thought it was a socialist country. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not a socialist
really, no.
country. It's not. No, it's the same brand of socialist country as Britain and Sweden, France, Germany. That's what we want to be. We want to be more like Canada. Is essentially what's going on. And Canada is better at education and healthcare than us, at the very least.
Fucking Canadians.
Yeah, fucking Canucks.
I think everyone should be equal and like I'm a human, you're a human, no matter what color. But we're not equal when it comes to like dedication and work and all this stuff. When it
right,
like coming to like
that, but everyone should have the same opportunity.
Yes, exactly.
Everyone should have the same opportunity to move up the capitalist ladder, as it were. Doesn't mean they have to exactly move up, because obviously, only one person can be the CEO of each company, right? So what we are proposing is everyone has the opportunity to become a CEO, but not everyone has to become a CEO, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if you privatize everything, then not everybody's going to have the same opportunity.
Exactly.
Only rich people. Only rich people are going to have that opportunity.
And if you go the communist route, not everyone's going to have the same opportunity, because equality of outcome necessarily stubs equality of opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to meet in the middle, because the middle seems to be the best area.
Load of money, because they have that work and drive ethic. And certain people are going to make no money because they don't have that work and drive ethic. So
okay, that would work in principle. Okay, that works in principle, but it does not work in practice.
Yeah, you can't starve people, man. They're going to get angry.
Yeah. You're going to have a communist revolution on your hands if you don't give them something. I mean, geez. Just look at what happened in Russia.
Got to be equal. That just makes no sense. Why would we do that? Like, I don't know. Everyone's equal when it comes to being humans, but not everyone's equal when it comes to talent income and all the above.
Okay, stop.
But
the reason some people are not equal in income is because they didn't have equality of opportunity.
Or just outright discrimination. Some points for your entry offer is just lower.
Right, and that's a problem with both the right and the left.
Yep.
Like, that's a problem both ends of the political spectrum suffer from. It just depends on who you're discriminating against. But the thing about it is like, when he says, fuck, I don't even know where I'm fucking going with this. I'm like, I was about to make a dope-ass point, but then he interrupted me and I lost it because I'm high as fuck.
Okay, we'll play the video.
Yeah, play the video. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I support gay rights and empowered women, and that just goes to show that all these insults that these.
Okay, no offense, but if they support women, then why is it in these red states they make it harder for women to get contraception?
Exactly.
Why are they still harping on
abortions, things like that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, what happened to pro-choice, dude?
Yeah, that just brought me to a point, because I love how conservatives and Republicans say that if I think the Supreme Court rules on it, then the debate's over, but yet they're still having a debate about abortion and gay marriage. I don't know if you guys have ever had.
I don't even agree with that though, because I think when the Supreme Court rules on something, the debate shouldn't be over. It just
I don't agree with that either. I'm just saying that's what I hear on Fox News sometimes. Is what I'm saying. I don't agree with it either.
When it rules in their favor, they say, nope, it's settled, it's done, it's over, stop complaining about it and just accept it and move on.
But when
it's against them, they bitch and whine and moan like a stuck pig.
Exactly, that's the point I was trying to make. Thank you, Doctor.
I mean, I try to remain consistent about all my principles, so, like, even if it rules for me, I'm still open to dialogue. Like, that's just supposed to be the point.
Yeah.
Republicans are just absolutely false. Like, I care about the environment, but I'm not gonna, crush businesses over it.
Stop. Okay, when the businesses pose an immediate and real threat to our environment, to us, and to our planet as a whole, I don't care about the business. Like, I just don't. I don't give a single shit.
Yeah, it needs to be destroyed.
Yeah, fracking is absolutely awful for everyone involved. Anyway.
Sector that actually turns the environment around. If you look at Elon Musk with SpaceX, Tesla, and Solar City, he's produced more green energy than, I'm pretty sure, the government itself. And he's a private industry. He's a private.
Awesome, that's great, and we should encourage that. We're not proposing that the government comes in and, like, takes all the energy business and, like, nationalizes them. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we need to snub the businesses that are causing a direct threat to our environment and to us. That is what we are saying. Private business, I am totally in favor of private businesses handling green energy. If you want... for instance, a private business selling solar panels for your house or some shit. Like, just as an example. Not the government coming in and mandating you install solar panels, but a private business coming in and handling that. I'm all in favor of the private sector handling green energy, as long as it's green energy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the government that, fixes the environment.
Also, okay, stop.
Good.
What is it with these fucking conservatives, and they're just, like, complete railing against the government? They love the government when it agrees with them, but the second the government does anything they disagree with, oh my gosh, the government's too powerful, we have to reduce the power of the government. Why is government... I mean, that's just a hypocrisy. But the principle of the argument... The principle of the argument, that government is inherently bad, you have to explain why and demonstrate. You can't just assert that more government equals bad.
Exactly.
Like, I'm with the Amazing Atheist on this one. The Amazing Atheist has stated that on the Drunken Peasants podcast, I don't care if it's more or less government, as long as the government's doing what the fuck it's supposed to and that it's good. It's qualitative to me. I want better government. I don't care if it lands on more or less government. I just want better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not
Completely
going to be
agree.
better government. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, AJ.
I agree completely. I don't watch The Amazing Atheist all that much, but I did see the podcast and I did hear him say that, and I have to agree completely.
Yeah, that was with Dave Rubin.
Yeah.
Oh
Was the
yeah,
recent
man.
one.
Yeah. And also, exactly. I mean, we need better government, and we're not going to have that when I think I think I had a meme about this a few weeks ago. I don't know if anyone saw it. I think Barack Obama has a 54% approval rating, while the Congress is controlled by Republicans, which only has, I think, a 7% approval rating.
Oh yeah, it's something abysmally low, like a record-setting low.
Exactly. That's just fucking sad.
I just hate all this liberal, safe space and non-offensive fantasy land.
Okay, yeah, I can actually agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
This fucking video made me laugh.
The movies. You're making the internet movies.
Yeah. Like tears in my eyes laughing. This is another video from Ray Comfort's YouTube thing.
Awesome.
Today, he has a pretty interesting prop with him. It's a biochemical pathway chart. The kind of thing you'd expect to see in a chemistry class. And this incredibly complex diagram shows what's happening inside of a human cell.
Awesome.
Folks, could you all gather around? I want to show you something here that is absolutely remarkable. What this is, it's called a biochemical pathways chart. This is only a sample. And this other chart I have in my hand is bigger than this one. And the whole thing would be 9 feet long. And it's the interreactions between the proteins in one single human cell. Now you look at this, it looks like a schematic drawing, like a blueprint of something very sophisticated. There are over 80 trillion cells in your body.
I already see where this is going.
And they all
you'll get
work together for you to live and breathe and walk and think and see and hear and taste and smell. Now all of that is not by chance. Do you see that? You see the sophistication of the design.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can. I think AJ knows where he's going with this.
I know where he's going with it.
Yeah. He's going the whole, it looks created, therefore it must have a creator.
That there doesn't have a creator.
Never mind the fact that by logic God must have had a creator, but we're just gonna ignore that.
Yeah, sweep that under the rug. No one cares. We're all fine here. How are you?
For a minute. If we were to examine a blueprint of a house or an airplane, no one in their right mind would conclude the design came about by accident.
Whoa. Do you understand that when you draw a blueprint of anything, it looks designed? Because it's a fucking blueprint! You fucking idiot!
And who says it's God? Maybe it's somebody else who created these blueprints.
Or maybe somebody else's God did.
Yeah, maybe what if it's not your God?
Go ahead, Life.
I said, or maybe it just popped out of nowhere, out of just luck, chance.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way,
no, like Jesus. What's wrong with not knowing? I don't understand what's wrong with that.
Oh, I find nothing wrong with it. But as far as what he's about to say, yeah, we know what a fucking plane is. We've seen people build them. That's why we know that.
From an explosion. Yet, atheists can look at the
Oh, yes. The cell. In the beginning, there was a singularity, and then it exploded, and the first cell was born.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Fucking idiot. You were the dumbest person alive, Kirk Cameron.
See, this is why I'm doing my series.
Deny the existence of the designer. It makes no sense. It's illogical to think that something this amazing just happened by chance.
It's illogical, guys!
No,
okay, if I show you a rock, do you think a human had to build it? No. It occurs naturally.
Yeah, because we really need that appendix, right?
Yeah, we do. It clearly is the most valuable organ in your body, atheist, and God gave it to you because He loves you.
Yeah, because that blind spot that everyone has in our eyes, that's just so helpful, isn't it?
I know, right?
And wisdom teeth. What about wisdom teeth? We need that.
Yeah, and believe it or not, our pinky toe. Yeah, we really need our pinky toe.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You pointed it out.
Why is my food pipe and my air pipe the same goddamn pipe?
Don't you want to breathe while you're eating at the same time?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that point.
People choke to death and die.
Every year. Well, not every year, every day, probably.
It's fucking intelligent design. An all-powerful, all-intelligent designer clearly designed us with so many flaws because he hates us. That's the only conclusion I could draw from this.
No, I mean, that's why I always bring up the point that the entire human body is an argument against intelligent design.
The reason people choose to deny God has very little to do with logic and everything to do with sin. All men know that God is
sin. You're all sinner, guys. It's against logic.
As much as I enjoy Pornhub, I have to say it is not. When I was a Christian, I still enjoyed Pornhub.
Even when I was
an atheist,
I still enjoyed Pornhub.
0 donut. None to do with sin. It has everything to do with you not meeting your burden of proof and me not believing you. It has everything to do with that. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Nothing.
In our country, we have this big mountain, Mount Rushmore.
This is funny.
With 4 of the presidents carved in it. Maybe you know of this. It's very famous.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what about this fucking Mount Rushmore. I don't know.
No, he's going to use this in his example.
Oh, I know what the fuck he's about to do.
By chance, by evolution.
Yep. See, what happened was we got a bunch of artillery, okay, and we just bombed the shit out of the mountain, and then when it was done, the faces of the presidents were there. That's what happened, right?
Ocean and wind and lightning and whatever else, that it could have carved those 4 faces on that rock?
Of course they don't.
Of course not, because you're not a fool, right?
Of course not, because wind and water and shit almost never creates a smooth surface unless it's in a river. And because there's not a river flowing along the side of the mountain... Jesus Christ.
I love that one lady in the scarf. She's smiling. She knows how dumb this is.
Yeah, she's like, this is fucking stupid. So, Life, I've never met you before. What's your story?
My story? What do you mean my story?
I don't know, whatever that question means to you.
I'm not going to tell you my life story.
No, not that. Whatever the hell the question means to you. Just tell me your story.
I guess.
Okay, well, I can tell you how I got here.
Yeah. All right, that works.
Well, I got here from looking up MGTOW videos on the internet. Then I found True Sherm. And then I watched some of his videos, and I saw Atheist Ranger. He's pretty smart, so then I started watching his videos.
Whoa. You saw Atheist Ranger, thought he was smart, but you didn't think I was smart? This is bullshit. Atheist Ranger is the dumbest person I know.
You're smart, too.
I'm a simpleton. I wouldn't say I'm an Einstein like Stalin is here.
Oh, yeah. I can literally rewrite the fucking theory of relativity with my dick. That's how smart I am.
So yeah, I started watching Atheist Ranger's videos, and I subscribed to him, and then he noticed I subscribed to him, so he subscribed to me, and then he joined one of my Google Hangouts, and then he told me to join one of his Google Hangouts, and that's why I'm here. That's my story.
Okay, cool.
What's your story?
I make stupid fucking videos on the internet, and I hang out with Atheist Ranger.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and he's also deep into. He is also into politics. He probably taught me a thing. Yeah. If you ever want to know anything about politics, contact Stalin Zbony.
Do you like Stalin?
Yes, I love Stalin. I suck his dick every day.
Why? Why do you like Stalin?
I don't. It's just basically it's making fun of like social justice warriors and shit because they're basically communists in my mind. So it's me parodying them.
It's like a paradox.
Yeah, I guess it's like a yin yang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to be changing my name soon again. This is like the third time I've changed my name. I feel like I should just. I need to keep changing my name while I don't have a lot of subscribers, because if I change my name when I have like 10,000 subscribers, that'd be like really jarring.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about changing mine to Skeptic Ranger.
I think
Also,
Atheist Ranger rolls off the tongue a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe. I mean, I think Skeptic Ranger just sounds nice.
But I was gonna say something about. Oh yeah, Ranger, you are slowly but surely catching up to me in sub count, and this cannot stand. I demand you delete your YouTube channel immediately.
Nah. I don't think so.
I don't care as long as you don't pass me. If you pass me, that's it. I'm going to make shit.
Dude, why do you keep wanting to mess with Super Saiyan awesomeness? Why do you keep messing with that?
Listen,
you know the kind of swaggerness I have.
I have 10 more subs than you. I win. Your argument's invalid. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm never ever gonna break 100 subs. I know it. So I mean, I'm good.
Dude, I'm greatly holding back. I mean, if I were to release all my potential, I would get all subscribers.
Oh, okay. Everyone on YouTube would instantly subscribe to you.
Yes, if I were to release all of my awesomeness, no one else would have any subscribers.
Okay, they would all instantly unsubscribe from all their subscriptions and only subscribe to you.
Yes.
You'd be they would turn YouTube into just atheistranger.com.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Whatever you say, bro.
Oh yeah, life. So I keep missing your hangouts, but I mean, most of the time when you have a hangout, I'm either busy or I'm at work.
Oh, it's all good, man. My hangouts lately haven't been that good, actually.
It's because I'm not there.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, you should join to make it better. Yeah, we have some wonderful arguments on there, man. It's pretty fun.
As long as like Darwin's deity doesn't come into any of your hangouts, I'll be good then.
Yeah, he just came once, and me and him had a great argument. It was pretty fun.
Like every time I see him anywhere, I just instantly have the urge to drive a knife through my face.
Yeah, every time I said something, he would say, "That's an objective statement." I'm like, I know that.
What does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything.
You really say that all the time?
Yes.
That's an objective statement. Well, yes, objectively, it is indeed a statement.
It's irritating.
It does have a period at the end of the sentence. Yes, Darwin.
Like I would talk for like 5 minutes, and his response would be, "That's an objective statement."
Oh,
like, are you serious? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, like, I think I have this on one of my playlists. But do you want to see? I don't know if you saw it. Chu Sherm going against Darwin.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was pretty.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Can
I talk? No, you can't fucking talk.
Like for the billionth time. No.
Yeah, he was asking the same question, but he was basically asking the same question with different words. Like he was talking in circles the whole time, and he thought nobody could recognize it. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, that's his whole life. His whole life is in circles.
Yeah.
He like fucking. Good.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. Stalinist. True empiricism was on the atheist experience earlier. You know what I'm talking about? And yes, it was just as funny as you may think.
I need to watch this.
Oh, Stalinist Brony.
What?
Remember the video that True Sherm made about the Second Amendment?
Which one?
The latest one. The one that was like a few days ago.
I watched so much shit on YouTube. I might not have seen it.
Oh, but that video was about me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I made a video called "The Second Amendment Sucks," and that was his response to my video.
Well, the Second Amendment does suck. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People clearly don't follow it very clearly.
They've never fucking read it. The only words they know of it are "right to bear arms." 4 words. That's all they know.
Yep. Oh, that reminds me of that Family Guy cartoon. You know, I think Stewie was making like a joke You ever seen that episode?
No.
Stewie makes jokes in every episode.
No, it was about damn, what was it? It was a cutaway about them. They were writing for the Second Amendment, and they said everyone has the right to hang a pair of bear arms in the living room.
Oh.
I haven't seen that one, but I get it though. I get the joke.
Yeah, I get the joke. But because Atheist Ranger told it, it was not funny anymore because
Well,
it
that's
sucks.
because I'm trying to fucking look for it. They said it better than I do. There we are.
It's funny because nobody questions the Constitution because they think it's there to protect us from our government, but the Constitution was written by our government. Like, it's just funny.
I tried to explain that to someone in high school once, and they just didn't understand.
So, can you tell me who wrote the Constitution?
Oh, there it is.
Ah,
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's horrible. Giving up breast milk is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I'll bet the founding fathers had an easier time writing the Bill of Rights.
All right, we're done. You think the language in the Second Amendment is clear enough? You know, about the right to bear arms?
Of course it's clear. Every American has the right to hang a pair of bear arms on their wall. How could that possibly be misconstrued?
I love that part.
That's pretty funny.
I wonder how many people have ranted on this one clip before.
Which
clip? It's a joke. I don't know how many people have ranted on that clip, but they're idiots because it's a joke.
Yeah, we need to rewrite our Constitution, man. We need to all just get together and just
Yeah,
tear up the old one and rewrite a new one.
Yeah, just like burn it. We're starting anew. We're start over. Just burn it.
Yeah, just fucking rip it up. I don't care what it says, as long as it has the separation of church and state, I'm happy.
No, it has separation of church and state, the guaranteed right to free speech, the right to hold weapons for pragmatic and self-defense reasons.
And by the way, let's make it very clear when it comes to the separation of church and state, because idiots like Ted Cruz don't get it.
Yeah, to make that very, very clear.
So Stalinist Brony.
We're like Ted Cruz.
You're burning the coil, dude? Don't burn the coil.
So Stalinist Brony, I got a question.
All right.
Do you believe in no censorship at all?
Yes.
So you think like the cartoon should be cursing on Nickelodeon or whatever?
Well, no, because you have to. I don't like if a Nickelodeon cartoon, says fuck, like that's fine. But like they have to learn that. Like I don't think they would do that anyway, because how the market is. The market could regulate that itself because no one would sit their kids down to watch Nickelodeon if it was just all sex jokes all the time. The market.
So what if somebody like confesses to a murder? Do you think that shouldn't apply, since he shouldn't be in prison for things that he says?
If I tell you right now I've killed 12 people, the cops are not going to break down my door because it has to be a legal confession.
I'm talking about doing an interrogation. Like during an interrogation, if somebody confesses to a murder, according to the First Amendment, you're not supposed to imprison anybody based on what they say. Correct?
No, that's a legal confession. That's something completely different. That's not their political. That's not political or them expressing themselves. That's a legal confession.
Gotcha. I just want to hear your thoughts on it. That's all.
Yeah. I don't.
So, how many of you are going to go see the Purge election year?
Not me.
Not me. Oh my God, that movie looks like it's terrible.
I think it's probably going to be one of those trilogies where, it's only the first one that's actually good.
I hated the first one too.
I like the first one. I actually have the first one, and that's only because one of the actresses in it I'm a big fan of.
Oh, he wants to slop all over her clit. That's the only reason he has that. It's just fat material. It's just fat material, Atheist Ranger. That's all you're using it for. Admit it. Admit it.
No.
Confess your sins to Father Johnny.
No, I'm good.
Do it. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I've gone 2 days without masturbating. It's horrible.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm kidding. I just masturbated before I came on here.
I mean, honestly, still when it comes to movies, it still irks me that they're going to remake it.
I like
we'll
all these remakes, period.
Yeah, remakes suck. Like, period. Like as much as I want to, I'm going to watch the new It remake illegally because I don't want to give money to remakes. So I mean, I'm making my opinions heard with my wallet.
I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be that bad if Tim Curry was still in it, but they're not casting Tim Curry as Pennywise.
I'm telling you, Marilyn Manson should play Pennywise.
That or the God damn it, the guy who played Freddy Krueger in 2009 remake. That guy.
I don't even think I watched that one.
Yeah, me neither. I knew it was gonna be garbage.
It's not that bad.
Every time Atheist Ranger says that, like, I just instantly go to, like, it's even worse than I thought it was.
No, it's really not that bad. I mean, he did actually have some good lines.
We got any other videos that I can respond to? Because I'm itching to argue.
Actually, you know what? There is. This is a. If you can give me a second to find it. This is a 2015 trailer for one of Ray Comfort's films. It's called Audacity.
Okay.
It's pretty much about gay people.
Oh no.
Yeah, because somehow knowing a lesbian is going to get you shot.
What?
Yeah, just see the trailer. Trust me, you're fucking awful.
Well,
so what did you guys think about Brexit? You think that was a good idea?
Good idea. I'm all for it.
I have no opinion on it because I don't care.
Me either. Me either.
No, this is actually very important. This is a very important thing in the grand scheme of things. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's gonna send little. Yeah, it's gonna send butterfly effects in the world.
Yeah, but no, the thing is the EU is a fundamentally undemocratic system, and I think Sargon of Akkad has made the case very well that people in the European Union are definitely trying to unite Europe into a European superstate, a giant country that's just the United States of Europe or some shit like that. And that would be bad because, A, it's undemocratic, and undemocratic countries tend to do shitty things, especially when they're as powerful as a united Europe would be. And
democratic countries do shitty things as well.
I know, but a dictatorship is more prone to do more crazy shit than a democracy is.
Yeah, it's the lesser of the two evils. I agree.
Yeah, democracy is the worst form of government except for all others. Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, democracies do shitty things, but a dictatorship is a lot more prone to do shitty things, and a dictatorship the size of Europe, that's a bad thing. So I think Britain leaving the EU is going to set off a butterfly effect that will eventually, in a few decades, lead to the disbandment of the EU entirely, which I think is a good thing. I'm all for that. I'm not against.
It seems like the UK is about to dismantle as well. You think that's a good thing?
If Scotland democratically wishes to be like independent, then they should be allowed to be independent from the UK. If the people of Scotland vote to be independent and the British are willing to let them go, then that's fine by me, as long as they're not fighting like violently to become independent. They're not like a rebellion or anything like that. If it's done democratically, I see no problem with it.
I agree.
It's all down to the will of the people.
Yeah, but do you know why the EU was created?
Well, it was created under the idea that it would make trading with the rest of the world easier.
Well, it was created to create peace in that region, because that region isn't known for peace.
I think, no.
Yeah,
Western Europe, might be on paper. On paper, yes.
Western Europe likes to kill each other a lot.
Well, yeah, there are a bunch of different ethnicities all tied into a really small continent compared to all the rest of the continents. Of course, they're going to want to kill each other.
So their idea kind of worked, didn't it? Didn't it create peace in that region for a while?
It did. It created peace. I can't argue with that. But I think if you have that sort of a system, I'm not against the EU. I was about to get into this. I'm not against the EU in principle. I'm not against a government body governing all European states. It just has to be democratic in nature. Nothing should be enforced upon any one European country that is not the will of the people there.
You don't think peace should be enforced?
Well, of course, peace should be enforced. That's different.
That's what they're doing.
No, they're not. They're in all kinds of harsh economic sanctions and stuff against any European country that doesn't conform to the EU's trade regulations. That's not a recipe for peace. That's a recipe for a rebellion.
Yeah, but World War III hasn't started yet, you know?
If World War III starts, it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be
within one of them little countries in Western Europe, like always. Just like the last two world wars.
Actually, both of those were Eastern Europe. Poland's in Eastern Europe, and Serbia's in Eastern Europe. So
I'm talking about Europe in general. Those guys like to kill each other, and they like to drag the whole world into it.
They do like to kill, but so doesn't everyone like to kill each other? Like,
yeah,
let's be honest, we conquered a bunch of our territory from Mexico.
Yeah, but they don't drag the whole world into it, like Europe.
Well, Japan, World War II, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, but that's
that happened.
You know where that started, over in Europe.
No, Japan declaring war on us started in Japan.
No,
we were not involved in
World
that
War
at all.
II. World War II started in
World
Europe.
War II, aka the War of German Aggression, started in Europe. Yes, but it didn't involve us until the Asians over there. Then them squinty-eyed Asians come over here and bomb our Pearl Harbor.
You know why the Germans went crazy, right? You know why the Nazis rose to power, right?
Because of the Treaty of Versailles.
Yeah,
people were tired of...
The Germans were starving. They got upset.
Yeah, people were tired of harsh economic sanctions being imposed on their country by an outside force. We've just gone full circle.
Oh, you make a good point. Yeah, I like that. Good counter argument.
I actually had a nightmare about war last night.
I do every day. Hey, Forbidden.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah,
last
please.
night, before I went to bed, I was watching a few documentaries on life, just basically nature and stuff. And then they started about talking about nature in other countries. And I started thinking, you know, other countries, while they're different, aren't bad. It's usually the people who are radical about anything who cause these countries to go sour. I don't hate the world. I try not to. So I went to bed thinking this. And after that, I had a nightmare. I was in a room with 3 people. One from Japan, one from America, another from Germany. They started arguing. They started arguing about war. I don't exactly remember everything they said, but a lot of them were getting violent. And I said, I don't even remember if I was me. I was just there as a voice saying, why are you fighting? Why? In the first place. I mean, you're on completely different parts of the world. Leave each other alone. And they all looked at me, and at the same time they said, what did they say? It was just weird gibberish. They just started whispering and just talking really fast. I couldn't make out everything they said, but I swear one of them said, because we want to rule the world. And that did scare me. I know it seems a little silly. I see you smiling, but it did scare me a little bit.
See.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like the way you tell stories. Like, I'll be watching your YouTube videos. It's pretty cool the way you tell stories. Not creepy or anything. I just like watching YouTube videos.
See, the thing is like, I totally support us going into World War II. I think that was a good idea. I think when there's someone taking over entire countries in Europe, I think it probably, at that point, it should probably involve the United States. I think it's time to get involved. Especially when it starts exterminating entire ethnicities. I think it's all right. I think it's okay to go, maybe we should intervene.
Yeah, well, we had to intervene because of Japanese.
Yeah, we got forced into it.
Yeah, we got
forced into it.
We had no choice at that point.
Yeah, we kind of had to. See, the thing is we declared war on Japan, right? So if Hitler had just said, all right, I'm not helping you in that war, Japan, that would have been fine. We would never have gone to war with Germany, because Germany, after we declared war on Japan, Germany declared on us.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if Hitler had just said, fuck it, everything would have been fine. We would have just nuked Japan, and that would have been it.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Hitler was talking trash before that. I think one of his quotes was he honestly thought pretty much that America was all bark and no bite.
Well, see, he did say that, but he also, in Mein Kampf, expresses a lot of admiration for America at the time because America was still segregated at that point in the 40s.
Yeah.
So he really admired that. So he had the same sort of attitude towards the British too. He admired them and yet despised them at the same time. The French he just hated. He hated the French because what they did to Germany after World War I. But he looked at the British and he was like, they're so much like us. They have a very strict culture. They have a very they weren't very liberal at that time, and he admired that of both the British and the Americans.
Yeah.
That's also why he admired the Japanese so much.
Yeah. So anyway, here's that trailer I was telling you about.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's called Audacity.
Wonderful.
I don't want to offend you, but I have a sister who's gay. And you don't know the struggle she's been through from people who are telling her that she's going to go to hell for, what, loving someone?
Where are these two going to go if I pull the trigger?
What? Who barges into a convenience store and puts a gun to someone's head like, where are you going to go if I pull the trigger? That's a crazy person. You're a crazy person.
Yeah, they I think they would most likely say, hey, give me your money, I'll shoot these two. Not,
yeah,
hey, where are they going to go?
How come the word homosexuality hasn't been in the Bible until a few decades ago? And if homosexuality is such an abomination, then why is the word abomination used to describe eating shellfish? And if God is love, then why?
Wait, what?
Yeah, go back to that. Go back to that.
Just type in?
Go back to that.
How to witness to a homosexual.
I don't get
what?
it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
What does that mean?
What the fuck?
What? I don't understand. My brain's broken.
Yeah, my brain's
What I don't know about?
Jesus.
Maybe
Low
some
budget movie, I guess.
I did it all for the nookie.
I noticed when I came up, you two were kissing in public. You are obviously gay.
What do you think of gay marriage?
I love gay marriage. I have a lot of gay friends.
I love gay marriage. Who says that? Who says I love gay marriage? That's not a phrase you should ever say.
Oh no, I mean, if I were to go back, there's actual interviews from the movie.
Oh yeah.
And fucking cringeworthy.
Oh yeah.
Thinking of getting married?
Yes. Yeah, I think everybody should be able to love who they want to love, no matter if you love a woman or a man. Who cares?
Gay marriage, I think they should be able to do whatever they want.
Love is love. Love has no color.
I think that everyone should be free to marry who they want.
I just know that I love gay marriage. I love gay people.
So what does God think of homosexuality?
Who cares?
Question.
I think you should just stay out of it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I have a lot of gay friends that go to church every Sunday. They believe in
How do we know what God thinks anyway?
Yeah, fuck God. Why do we care what God thinks? Fuck God.
Exactly. I mean, if he's so angry, he would have done something about it by now.
Yeah, like, if God, you're angry for me not giving a fuck about what you think, please shoot me with a lightning bolt or some shit, like, right now.
Exactly.
Just do it.
hell for
Nope, nothing. Fuck you too.
Born that way?
I believe so. I was.
You think they're born that way?
They're born that way.
Sure?
It's a mixture. I mean, stop.
Oh.
Homosexuals are neither born that way or not born that way. It's a mixture of nature and nurture. I think this point has been adequately described. And regardless of whether or not they're born that way or if it's a choice, it doesn't fucking matter because they should have the freedom to do whatever they want anyway.
It's none of your damn business, pretty much.
And what about you?
So ever since the day I was born.
You've always had gay tendencies?
Always.
Yeah, when I was 2 years old. When I was 2 years old and I was playing with the other 2-year-olds, I asked if one of them could fist me in the asshole.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to contemplate what it means to witness a homosexual.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, that was just freaking weird. The freaking thing.
So is it how to witness to do you walk into the room while they're butt fucking? Is that how you witness a homosexual?
I don't know.
That what the fuck?
That was just fucking cringeworthy, and I actually saw some of the interviews from the movie, and it was just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I kid you not, he actually made the whole, well, you know what? There's this woman in so and so that married your dog. Okay.
What's like, why would you go up to people and ask them stuff like that anyway?
Okay, so I mean, let's talk about the marrying a dog thing. I know that is the worst phrase I've ever but like the idea, it depends on I don't know. I have a complex opinion on that, and I don't know how to explain it.
Oh yeah, I love it when they say, well, where do we draw the line?
To consenting adults?
That's where we draw the line.
See, I don't
Not
think
that difficult.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with marrying your dog on paper. It's just the sexual shit that we should probably draw a line at.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love my puppy so much I want to marry it. It's like, okay, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're not trying to stick your dick in its ass or anything like that. I think
exactly.
we're good.
Man. As long as they're consenting adults, I don't care what you do. You want to fuck your mom? I don't care.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you can fuck whoever you want. Put your penis anywhere as long as that thing is consenting.
Yep.
How do you define consent exactly?
Huh.
No.
You guys talk about written consent, or?
Yeah, what do you... I don't... that was the most ludicrous question I've ever... you consent. Permission.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I want to fuck you. That's consent. I don't understand the question.
That was a question. I just wanted to hear what your definition of consent was.
Well, yes, I want to fuck you.
Yes,
that's consent to me.
Yeah. Just, yes. That's it.
Right, even body language, if they're playing along, I think that's also consent, in my opinion.
So verbal or physical?
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't get and also another thing I hate, if you're fucking, I don't care how drunk you are, if you fucked that person, you fucked that person. If you drink and drive, you're held responsible for drinking and driving. You should be held responsible for drinking and fucking.
Same thing with drugs.
Don't get me started on that bullshit about how freaking.
Well, no, roofies is things like roofies and shit are different, because that was if I slip a date rape drug into your drink and I fuck you in the ass later, that's different because I did that without your consent. You didn't get high off of those
Oh yeah, I agree, but it just I get pissed when I hear all these feminists, especially people like Anita Sarkeesian, saying that not Anita, fucking. God damn it! I played her video a few times. Who was it?
Lacey Green.
Yes, Lacey Green. People like her saying that freaking drunk sex is rape.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Because more often than not, both people involved in the sexual activity are blackout drunk.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of a given. If one person is drunk and fucking someone, chances are the other person in the situation is also drunk. Even if they're not, if you're drunk and you do something, you're held responsible.
Oh yeah.
Same standard applies. And also, you can't revoke consent after it's already been done. That's something that also pisses me off. It's yes, I want to fuck you, and then they fuck, and then the next day she's like, actually, I didn't want to fuck you, you just raped me. It's what?
Yeah.
At that point, it turns that would turn any woman into a fucking malevolent dictator that could throw any man she wants in jail by fucking him and then revoking consent afterwards. It's like, oh, you looked at me weird at work. I'm gonna have sex with you and then get you thrown in jail. It's like you don't understand how the amount of ways you can abuse that system is insane. Fucking SJWs. They don't understand anything. They don't understand logic. I hate them. We should just round them all up into camps and gas them.
Yeah, because that worked out so well for the Jews.
I know, right? Hey. If he had succeeded, Palestine would be independent. Can't argue with that.
Possibly. So, Life, I got a question for you.
Oh, wonderful.
I like questions, man.
Yeah, well, this is just a friendly question. I think I had a hangout about this. Let's say an afterlife were to exist. What is your perfect afterlife?
You said, hold on, repeat that?
I said, if an afterlife were to exist, what's your perfect afterlife?
I don't know. I've never been asked that question before. I guess like to just be in a room with a bunch of beautiful women, you know, just have sex with them.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, as long as they don't have, you know, STDs or whatever, and I don't have to, you know, deal with that.
Virgins.
Yeah, and as long as they can't get pregnant, that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's yours?
For me, it'd probably have to be probably what I do sometimes. Just play video games, you know, have nothing but an endless parade of chocolate women. Pretty much.
You just said that phrase.
Yeah, I did.
We can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry.
Endless parade of chocolate women.
Yeah, no. When I was born, I made a pact. I cannot be friends with anyone that ever says endless parade of chocolate women.
So what's yours, AJ?
I've explained before in one of my videos, I believe, but I could always just say again. My perfect afterlife would be similar to what I have now, being with my friends and family, just being free, thoughtful, and independent. What was that?
A motorcycle. Sorry, my window's open.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would like to be a free soul. I do believe in souls. I'm a spiritualist. You can judge me if you want for that, but
I judge everyone.
I want to be a free soul, and that's my perfect ending. Just to be a free soul, be happy, and meet other souls that have already died. I want to talk to them. I want to meet people from the past that I admire, and that would be perfect.
Like
Just
who?
have endless conversations about anything.
Like who?
Well, Robin Williams is one, my grandparents, my ancestors, Abraham Lincoln, and a couple of others.
I have two dead people I want to talk to. Personally, and this Otto von Bismarck. He, if anyone's not historically savvy, he was responsible for the unification of Germany. And the other one is Adolf Hitler. And the reason is I want to sit down with him and pick at his brain. I want to know what's going on up there. Like, for him to, like, fucking do what he did. I wanna understand why he did what he did.
For me, it'd probably have to be Amelia Earhart, so that way I can know what the fuck happened to her.
She crashed in the Bermuda Triangle. She got abducted by aliens.
Galileo is one of them that I would love to meet.
My perfect afterlife, I've explained this before, is I want to have a spaceship, okay? And anyone who wants to come can come. And I want to be put in an infinite universe, and I want to live forever in this infinite universe with infinite possibilities and copious amounts of marijuana, and just go out and discover. Like, I don't want to be told anything about this universe, just set to explore it and see what I see.
Amen, I'll come along.
AJ, as much as I admire your willingness to hang out with that person, I think you'd find yourself at a disadvantage.
Who? Me?
No, AJ. It was saying that they would like to hang out with. Was it Leonardo da Vinci?
I think I said Galileo.
Galileo, sorry. Galileo was a very interesting person.
Yeah, he was.
Far advanced than any.
Well, I wouldn't say that. See, Galileo, he was basically we know a lot about what Galileo had predicted, like his universal model and things like that, because a lot of his shit was well preserved. There were based on historical documents, we also believe that there were other people of his caliber existing at the exact same time as him, also making not the exact same but similar predictions. And he was basically the just part of the scientific community of his day, which was pretty advanced.
Who were the other people? Why aren't they being acknowledged?
And Thomas Edison is credited for inventing the light bulb. Because Thomas Edison was more famous and had more money.
Okay.
Nikola Tesla invented the light bulb.
Yes.
And alternating current, which is a better current than direct current. And a million other inventions that we probably could use today, but sadly didn't go into mass production because, reasons. Besides the Tesla coils, we still use Tesla coils in power lines and things like that. So at least he did something. I admire Nikola Tesla. That's another person I'd like to talk to.
There's a lot of freaking people in history I'd like to talk to.
Napoleon.
Some of them are actually athletes. I would love to talk to fucking Joe Louis.
Augustus Caesar.
I'd rather stick to Einstein.
Oh yeah, that was one of them. I think
like
I forgot to mention him in that video.
Charles Darwin, while we're at it.
Yeah, Darwin would be awesome too.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
That guy's good. That guy's material is really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Poe. Yeah.
I've read some of his stuff when I was in high school, but I lost the books.
The Cask of Amontillado is an interesting. What is it? A short story, I guess you could call it. I mean, he wrote a lot of short stories. I don't know what I'm going on about. I'm too high.
That's fine.
You sound like you're rambling.
I am rambling.
He's always rambling.
I always ramble. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Everything's fine here. How are you?
So, Skeptic Knowledge, how are you? It's been a while since I've seen you.
It's been. I took a break for a bit. I should be on for another couple months before I'm off again.
Oh, you going somewhere?
No, I'm busy. I got stuff going on.
Yeah, I've been busy with my channel.
Took this time to go into the world of Google Plus and see what's going on. I don't see much changing, though I've seen a few people who seem to have distanced themselves from certain hangouts. Finally, was able to get into a nice conversation with Sam.
Sam, the scientist?
Yeah.
Oh, what did y'all talk about?
Oh, we got into a conversation about orthopods, PEDs.
What about them?
I can't get into details. I don't remember any.
Oh, that's fine.
Welcome to my world.
It was last night, and I kind of been hit by other things. But yeah,
So,
we had Matt Bell in the hangout.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It's the same story with Matt Bell. He defends himself and claims the atheists can't
have morality?
Can't defend themselves.
Against what?
Against the idea that we are atheists. It's like
Wait,
atheism to him is not a realistic viewpoint.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never met this person. I already know he's retarded.
No, I've seen him a few times. I mean, I've never personally talked to him, but I know who you're talking about.
Very well-known person in the community.
Well, I'm not like
Infamous would be probably a better term.
I never. The people I talk to, and basically the people I talk to on Google Plus are all in this hangout right now. It's Atheist Ranger, AJ, and Forbidden. Those are the people I hang out with.
I'm not familiar with AJ. I recognized Atheist Ranger. Forbidden looks familiar, but I'm not entirely sure.
He pokes around a lot.
How I don't know them, and I don't know you directly.
Yeah, I'm here every now and then on every other hangout.
I might be confusing you with somebody else, Forbidden Knowledge or something.
Forbidden Thinker? Is that what you're...
Forbidden Fruit?
Forbidden Fruit, maybe.
Yeah.
Fruit.
I fucking miss that guy. I'm sorry. I fucking miss him.
You miss Forbidden Fruit?
Yeah, I miss Forbidden Fruit. I'm sorry.
With what? The bullets, or...?
No, the guy who always had the apple in his introduction.
Yes.
Mike,
he left the atheist side to join the ranks of the religious. Last I heard, anyway.
I don't understand how you could possibly go like from atheist to Christianity.
No, I think he just left YouTube.
He wasn't entirely that stable.
Okay.
Really
But,
watched his videos.
I don't get that cognitive dissonance because every time someone goes from atheism to Christianity, especially if they argued with it a lot, they always go to Christianity and start making the exact arguments that they themselves refuted as an atheist. So
I find that I've never met anybody who's actually gone from atheism to theism without having some hidden agenda.
I have. Except it was in real life and not on the internet.
Okay, can you tell me the process in which that traveled, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. And my personal theory on this is that when this happens, it's usually of three possible causes. It's either the individual has a means to get more money if they suddenly switch over. And we see this example within Brett King. Like, I'm of the opinion that he did that only because he can get money out of that.
Oh no, that's not an opinion. That's an objective fact. That's exactly what he did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, all right, then that theory
is well known for using the money for his own needs.
Exactly. And the amazing atheist fucking, I almost said Atheist Ranger. Atheist Ranger doesn't have this kind of money. Gave him $1,000, and then, like, the next day, he comes out and he's like, actually, I'm going to defend both atheism and theism.
Wow.
It's like, follow the money.
Yeah, follow the money, that's a good way to put it. The second point why I think people just suddenly switch is either that they were never really a non-believer to begin with. Now, this may be a no true substance fallacy, but this happened in real life in my relationship because he only pretended to be an atheist just to be popular where he was. But he really did believe in God, and I'd argue those people are very rare, very small.
There's a word for people like that. Usually two-faced would be probably a good...
Or backsliding.
Yeah. And I think the third and most common thing is some people just can't accept that there really isn't a divine creator, and they say that they don't believe, but there's something about their mental psyche that just drives them back into that belief in God, which I never understood.
I think what we're dealing with is probably the concept of desperation. When people get into that point where there's nothing left for them to grasp onto, religion usually ends up being the the fallback position for that.
They're afraid.
Yes, they're scared and they're looking for something to grasp onto.
That's actually true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's been many times since I became an atheist. There's been many times where I wanted to go back to being a deist. So to some extent, I understand.
Yeah, that happened to me when my brother died.
Everyone wants to be cared about. The idea of God, a divine being that's all loving and caring about you, is something people do want. It's the feeling of helplessness that people sometimes go back to Christianity and want to believe that he's real. They want to feel cared about. They want to go to heaven. But they have to realize that it's corrupt. This way of thinking is corrupt. It will, in the end in more fear and anger and hatred. I really don't want to judge people for what they believe in. But sometimes I can't help but hate the things they do.
It's okay to hate the things they do.
Oh
It's
yeah.
hating the people. It's hating the
I think
people themselves that makes it hard.
Well, I think it's perfectly okay to hate what they believe, just not like you have to learn to separate beliefs from person.
Yeah, that's the issue we're dealing with, because they themselves can't separate themselves from their beliefs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Lindsay, you there? Really not.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Oh no, I said Lindsay.
Oh, okay.
You're talking to me? I don't see anybody else in the
You're
room.
fucking tired of me. Oh Jesus.
Sorry, I had to reference that. That was just awesome. Set it up perfectly.
Yeah,
Oh
no
my God,
problem.
we got face cam hood, but no face or voice or anything.
No, man, I don't know what she's gonna do, but yeah.
So what do you think happens after you die?
Your consciousness is extinguished from existence.
Thank you. Yes.
All the electrical power within your body dissipates.
Yeah.
Your body becomes cold. All
You
the
die.
cells in your
Hold
body start
on.
to break down, and
You die. That's what happens.
No, I mean, like, what do you like? I was asking, like, what do you think like happens? Do you think happens to you? Your consciousness, like,
it's
do you think it's just
extinguished.
Like a blackness?
It
Just
doesn't
like
exist
a,
anymore.
The energies within the energies that control your thinking and your movements and all that dissipate from the body, stop working. Your brain shuts down essentially. It
pretty
no
much
longer
like
controls the muscles or the organs or anything like that.
It's like taking the battery out of your phone and saying, what happens to all the calculations and stuff that go into the programming of your phone? Well, nothing really happens to them. They just stop working. It's a bad analogy, but I think that was the best way I could come up with.
In some cases, your heart stops working. That means another part of that computer stops working. So that could be your heart, could be your lungs, could be your liver. Any one of those things can shut down and cause total.
Yeah.
For me, I don't believe in complete decimation of the consciousness. I do believe that it goes somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. You could still judge me for that. But
yeah, I
do believe in energy. And I believe energy cannot be destroyed. And I believe living things have this force within them.
You're right about...
AJ, I once used to think like you, and I had to decide on how these things came about and what would make them possible. And the closest I came to was ions. It was the closest. Ions would be the only thing that could maintain some connection to itself. For instance, water ions stick together. Other ions stick together. So that would be the only way that you could maintain some sort of,
So do you think energy can be created?
No.
Think it's just transferable all the time?
Yeah, energy can transfer to other things. It can turn into different types of energy, and in extreme circumstances can be turned into matter. Matter can be turned into energy, and matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but they can turn from one thing to another.
Your energy is just forever.
Yeah. eventually all the matter in the universe will be turned into energy and dissipate evenly.
There's multitudes of different types of energy.
Oh yeah. Kinetic energy, electric energy, all kinds of shit.
As for me, I think physically I would have to agree with Stalinist, but when it comes to my consciousness, I'll say I pretty much don't know, because to me, none of us can know. I mean, none of us know what's going to happen to our consciousness once that
I
other line.
have to ask you a simple question. Does it scare you to know that your consciousness no longer exists?
No.
It scares me to all hell.
No, that's pretty awesome.
Why does it scare you?
It doesn't. I said no.
No, but AJ said it does to all hell, she says.
No, she said something that scares me. She was about to explain something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, AJ? Go ahead.
It does scare me knowing that my consciousness may or may not be destroyed completely. Knowing my past, I have suffered, not as much as others, but I want it to mean something. And if I just disappear and all of it has been for nothing, it would destroy me on the inside, literally. I want my life to mean something. I want my family's life. I want my friends' life to mean something.
Okay, so why don't you do what many have done, and that is write about it?
I'm not the best writer.
I think she does.
You live on for the people in your life.
Ah, she speaks. She's back from the dead. Or he. I don't know.
I see an eye. That's all I see.
Yeah.
That's a logo.
I'm sorry, I'm lagging a bit. I'm on the mobile app. I was just saying, you don't stop existing. You live on for the people in your lives. You're a memory.
Well, eventually, all the people that have a memory of you are also going to die at some point.
Yeah, I mean, 500 years from now.
You have to prove
say-
yourself to the world. You have to give something that's of evidential use.
Yeah, like that's something like I think about a lot is like if I can make a big impact in the world and people like my name will be written down in history. I want it to be something good and positive for the world. I want to be known like for hundreds of years to come for something that's good like that, and that's something I hope I have the opportunity to do one day, but obviously not everyone has that opportunity, but
To be honest, I think to myself, once my existence is done, it doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
It's done. I've lived my life. I've performed what I expected to perform. I've struggled through my life, and when it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you have now and go on and let everybody else go on beyond you.
Exactly, and to me, I mean, don't wait for an afterlife that may not come when it comes to theist.
Yeah. Don't count on it. It's a magic 8-ball. Don't count on it.
But yeah, I mean, I do have to agree with you, AJ, when it comes to my consciousness. This is my opinion. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to consciousness, I don't know, because to me, that's not something anyone can know.
Well, see, I kind of feel like I do know, because like, basically what your body does is it inscribes information on your brain. Essentially, it's like inscribing information on a piece of meat. And once once your body stops working, it stops reading that information. So like that, your consciousness doesn't necessarily it doesn't die until your brain rots away and all that information's lost, but it just stops working.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about just real quick, if you think about reality, I mean, for all we know, we could be aliens in parts, and this is just a virtual reality.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, but you said energy lasts forever, and
but
information, energy.
Your memories and your thoughts are not in the energy; it's in your brain. Your energy is the energy in your brain is what reads it and inscribes it, and basically it's the read.
It's all just chemical reactions, is what it is.
Yeah, it's like the energy in your brain is just what reads this shit, and once it dissipates, there's nothing left reading that information. So it just stops. That information is when your brain rots away, is just forever lost.
Yep. But yeah, I actually do. I do agree with AJ. I think possibly energy may last forever.
Well, energy does last forever. That's kind of the point.
Damn it, I'm tired. Okay.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe energy lasts forever. I don't believe anything lasts forever.
Well, energy necessarily lasts forever. It cannot be created or destroyed. It's going to eventually, all the energy in the universe is going to be unusable energy, basically useless energy, and it's going to spread out evenly across the universe, and the universe is basically going to be dead. There's not going to be anything in it except energy evenly dispersed over an infinite plane.
Yeah,
I disagree. That kind of seems extreme, doesn't it?
Yeah,
The amount of different energy in the universe is there's energy we don't even know about yet.
Right, but eventually all that information will be, through multiple processes, will be converted into unusable energy, and it'll spread out over, like, all the matter in the universe. All the matter will be turned into energy eventually and spread out over an infinite plane, because we live in an infinite universe. Assuming that model of the universe is correct. If it's not, I don't know.
I don't think we live in an infinite universe.
So what do you think's at the edges? Just a brick wall?
No, I just think it's expanding. That's all.
Obviously.
I don't think
have
it's
a hard.
infinite.
Okay, since we're going to look into the concept of cosmos and space, the idea that this universe, current one that we know about, had a starting point really boggles my mind in a way.
Right.
Yeah, but you said it's infinite, then how can it be expanding if it's already expanded to the full capacity?
We don't know if it's reached the full capacity yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just said it was infinite, though.
Because it's going to expand infinitely. Until it runs out of energy.
At this point, we can only say it's infinite because we have no walls on which to prescribe it to.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I think it's finite.
But there has to be. If it's like, the thing is like.
We all can. This is a case of an opinion. This is not a case of.
Well, because we're talking about competing scientific models of the universe.
Yeah.
So.
Some would say we live in a glass bottle. Some would say we live in an ever-expanding new universe where multi-other universes may exist. Some would say that we are in an alternate universe.
What about what do you guys think about the multiverse theory?
I love it.
No,
I like it in principle, but it's like impossible to prove. I mean, I like it in principle, and it's fun to theorize, but.
Well, I mean, every time I think about the multiverse theory, I think about that Jet Li movie, The One.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
I know that's what I think. I think that pretty much does explain the multiverse theory. Yeah, if it did exist, like Thomas said.
Yeah, but I like it, but I have to assume the agnostic position on that because there's no way to prove it.
Oh, you and me both. Damn, this is a good hangout. I haven't had a deep hangout like this in a while.
Sorry, did I disturb the peace?
Oh no, you didn't. I mean, this has been a good hangout.
Nah, man, you created it, bro.
Yeah, you were a very nice addition.
Yeah. Well, everyone's been a nice addition, especially
except me. I come here to ruin this place.
Especially our new guest here, Life.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I hope you can come more often.
So if you're Life, can I be Death?
Yeah, you can be whatever you want to be.
Okay, how do you want to be called? This is very.
Let's call him Life. That's what we've been calling him.
Life, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, just give me a rundown of your position on. Are you theistic, atheistic?
I'm agnostic mostly.
Agnostic, okay. Because I'm trying to understand some of the things you were saying compared to.
It's like I believe in God, but I'm not sure. So I'm like agnostic, but at the same time I'm kind of like
You're theistic agnostic.
Yeah,
An agnostic theist. You don't meet many of those.
Yeah, no, it's rare.
Yeah.
It's like I believe there's a God, but then at the same time I don't know. So it's like I'm kind of agnostic.
See, I thought you were just playing devil's advocate.
Life.
What?
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
I have a funny feeling that Life here is on the quest of his atheism.
Yeah, he's. How long do you give him?
He's got a few years yet. He's got a few years yet, but.
Okay.
I think 6 months.
He's just started.
I'll give him a year. I'll play the middleman.
I gotta give him 6 months.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're kind of right. But I can't predict the future, so I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Ray Comfort will convert him to
Here's the
creationism.
problem atheists see all the time within those who have, I've been subjected and I've seen many of the scenarios play out. And those that travel the road that you're traveling right now have found themselves extremely confused in the beginning. And the funniest part is that you're here. Once you've gotten to here, there's no going back.
I don't know. Christian anarchist he's been holding his ground.
I haven't done too much talking to him, so I'm not really familiar with him.
He said he's gonna do a video responses to Atheist Rangers new series, and I'm like, I'm gonna do video responses to your video responses.
Well, he had a conversation with G-Man, so it's questionable where he lies. But that's the same time, Christian Arcanist or Christian Arcanist could be along the same lines as the deist. I forget his name now. Suddenly, it just fell out.
Skylar Fiction.
Skylar Fiction. Thank you very much.
As far as Christian anarchist, I know he's. I believe he is a Calvinist. Yes, and he also accepts evolution. I think that's what he was debating G-Man.
Isn't that a contradiction in terms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why he was debating G-Man, because that's what the debate was about.
G-Man doesn't even know what Calvinist means, so.
G-Man, from my understanding of G-Man, I don't think he even likes Calvinists.
He's a Pentecostal.
He doesn't like Calvinists. He plays the Calvinist card, but he doesn't like Calvinists.
Under his definition of Christianity, Christianity only has one adherent, and that's G-Man. Everyone else is not a true Christian because no one's as crazy as him.
Well, I mean,
that's true.
Well, according to G-Man and his definition,
according to G-Man.
I mean, the Democratic Party could be a religion.
Yeah, his definition of religion is fucking insanely broad and completely useless.
Exactly.
Go ahead, AJ.
I feel extremely sad for people like G-Man, and they're just so scared.
I feel sad for Atheist Ranger. I mean, he lives a horribly sad existence.
That's because I live in Delaware.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's mostly because of that.
You need to move up here to Pennsylvania. It's much better up here. Besides the fracking, your house might get knocked down by fracking.
Move to Canada. Get it out of the way.
No,
I'm moving to fucking Vermont.
Listen.
Hey, you guys don't pay sales tax, right?
Who?
Delaware.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
I mean, we pay sales tax here, but it's an extra like 20 cents. So.
Yeah, I'd rather keep that in my pocket.
And not on digital things. So if I go buy like a Steam card to like put some like a Steam wallet code, there's no tax on that. It's just on like sodas and shit like that.
Yeah, I hate sales tax, man.
I mean, I love my home state, but I'm sorry, to me, it's more of a retirement state than a state for something to do. If that makes any sense.
I agree. You should.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do up here yet. Actually, no, that's a lie. We have Kennywood. Kennywood is fucking awesome. Cedar
Dad,
Point.
You also have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers, man. More Super Bowls than any other football team.
Jacksonville Jaguars, sadly.
Whereabouts are you, AJ?
What?
Whereabouts are you in the U.S.? Assuming you're in the U.S.
Washington State.
That's state. Yeah, I was about to say state, not DC. Yeah, she's on the other fucking side of the country.
She's above me. I'm in Oregon.
AJ, I was looking through some gun stuff earlier, and I think and I could be mistaken. I may have to recheck, but I think last year, Washington State was in the top 10 of least gun violence, if I'm saying that correctly.
It's true.
Nice.
Yeah, no one dies in Washington.
I might move to Washington.
People do die, but not in vain sometimes.
See, around here, like in my immediate area in Pennsylvania, there's not a lot of gun deaths or anything. But, travel a mile in that direction, and it's anarchy.
There's even few gun deaths in Canada.
Yeah, I mean,
you
here
can't eliminate gun deaths. That's kind of impossible unless you. Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, like here in Delaware, we have more stabbings than shootings.
Patrick, I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, here we go.
It's about to go down.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute, let me shut the
Bear your anus.
I'm gonna grab my popcorn.
Okay. So after our live stream, me and Angrel are shooting the shit, and we're getting ready to go to bed. And then Patrick joins and tells us about this like space probe that's going to be like it's going to Jupiter on July 4th, right? And me and Angrel are both tired as shit because it was like 1 in the morning or something like that, and we're about to go to bed. And we were like, all right, that's interesting. We're going to bed. And then Patrick was like, oh, so no one's interested, and leaves the hangout, and leaves me and Angrel there feeling like assholes because we were about to go to bed right as he joined.
How much wine did you have, Patrick?
I don't know.
He probably had a lot.
And we were about to tell him, like, no, wait, that was actually interesting, and then you left. I was like, oh, man.
I think what happened was I was trying to get into I was listening to you guys on and off. It was like I had no invite. It was like, I was left with no actual join invite. Somehow somebody gave me the invite somewhere along the line, and you guys were almost ready to leave. So I came in all kind of like disgruntled.
Yeah, during the stream, I was like, hey, someone invite Patrick Festa, and then someone had invited you.
Yeah, but there was I don't know. I couldn't either it got lost in the Google bullshit or the link wasn't there. So anyway, it wasn't serious. I was just tired too.
Yeah, we were both like you left the hangout, and then Angrel's like, "Damn, I feel like an asshole now," and I was like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah, well, I kind of did that on purpose. That's true. I was fucking.
Okay, so it was on purpose too. You're fucking making us feel like assholes.
It's okay. It's alright. I'll talk about my science and feel like a fool for talking about science. Fuck you guys. Goodbye.
We were about to go to bed. It was like 1 in the morning. I mean, it's like 1 in the morning now. I mean, it's like 12:15. Yeah. But I'm good right now.
Anyway,
I've had a sufficient amount of pot, so I'm good.
Well, I haven't had any. In fact, I've been sober for two or three nights too.
2 or 3 whole nights.
It's a crime. No.
Oh man.
So what are we talking about now?
I don't know. Does anyone else want to talk about something?
What do you guys think about anarchy? Do you agree with anarchy, or you like the government?
I like the government I have now. Well, for the time being.
I'm more.
I don't even. That's an incredibly.
Are you trying to differentiate? Bleh. Are you trying to find out the difference between Trump and Clinton? Is that what you're trying to differentiate?
No. I was asking, do you prefer anarchy or do you prefer to have a government? That's all.
So here's a question that I think is a lot more interesting than that. Would you rather live in a communist society or an anarchist society?
Anarchy.
Anyone?
Anarchy.
I know, but anyone else?
No.
No.
Nobody wants to live in an anarchy. It's just.
Well, what about?
Yeah, but would you rather live in an anarchist country or a communist country?
Well, it's hard to say because we don't know what kind of communist country we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It depends.
All right. Well, we'll say Somalia versus Soviet Russia.
Oh.
I mean, Somalia is not a anarchist country on paper, but their government is basically the most toothless government in the entire world, and it's basically anarchy.
Soviet Russia.
I was going to have to say I changed my mind. Definitely Soviet. Oh, see ya, AJ.
Later.
AJ's leaving.
But yeah,
I would have to say communist then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still loose. You're still comparing two defined countries. One scumbaggery country compared to one scumbaggery communist country at one time, anyway. I mean, you're not actually.
What if I change it?
You're not actually asking the same question.
Right, I know, but I was trying to give it a real world.
Communist or an anarchy? That's like a loose question. But when you
put
it into specific countries, then you're talking about a different question.
So what if I change Soviet Russia to North Korea?
Oh, fuck no. I'm staying in communist Russia.
No, I mean, like, what if I take out Soviet Russia and put in North Korea?
Either way is
Somalia.
Same.
Exactly, Somalia.
Yeah, I'd take Somalia over North Korea.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Faison. Hey.
I guess it depends on the communist country.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm not a big fan of anarchy. I like the government.
Yeah, I'm not a big
government
fan
needs
of
to
anarchy either.
Seems too violent. It seems too
Yeah, you can't
seems
have
like everybody would turn into wolves.
You can't have an anarchy when you have millions of people. An anarchy only works in a small
contained
group of people, like perhaps a couple of hundred people.
Lord of the Flies. I don't know if you read that book.
Literally,
but
a couple
yeah.
hundred people. That's like the maximum, and that might even be too much.
And that principle, I think, applies also to communism. It doesn't work with millions of people, but it can work in theory, like with a small group of people.
A small group of people, like 10 people, it's already considered an anarchy. It's already, everybody's for themselves. They help each other, their friends or whatever. But if as soon as you become separated by cliques, you have your workplace, you have a couple hundred people in a workplace, and you start getting these cliques. It becomes a
controlled environment.
Yeah, it becomes a sort of a violent place, because you have these groups that are just against this other group, and you get these little fucking junior high school bickering going on with grown men and women. So yeah, you have to have a government. You have to.
Junior high school bickering is what I do on the internet. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But you have to have a government when you're talking, a population.
Over a period of time, even small groups eventually turn into large groups of controlled points, till eventually the control is created into one centralized community.
Yeah, because I mean, if we're all wonderful people and everybody kind of like had the idea of what's good and what's bad, it would be a perfect world. But it's not, and then we're not all wonderful people, and even some of the best of us can be assholes. So you have to have a sense of law and order when it comes to more than 100 people, or even with just 100 people. When it comes to more than, you have to have a sense of law and order.
I think the closest thing to anarchist right now would be Mexico.
Yeah, they're going insane. There's almost a revolution happening down there. It's quite insane.
Yeah.
Protesters being arrested. There's shit on fire.
And they're teachers. They're teachers, too.
Yeah, the police massacred a bunch of teachers. These reasons. Because that was the next logical step.
It was Pol Pot's version of it, wasn't it?
Massacring teachers? I don't know. I don't know a lot about Pol Pot.
They massacred anyone with any sort of knowledge in order to keep the total population from knowing anything.
All my information on Pol Pot comes from the Dead Kennedys song "Holiday in Cambodia." So that's all I know about Pol Pot. It's just that song.
Dead Kennedys.
You think the government should take everyone's guns away?
No. I've already given you my position on guns.
Yeah, no, and that's not what they're doing. So that's a miss.
I mean, I do think certain assault weapons should be banned, but yeah, but no,
I don't agree with that.
Not all guns.
I was asking, do you guys think that the government should take all guns away?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
I think you're in for a long, slow process of light removal until a point of control.
I was just listening to something on NPR today about how the NRA is how do they call it? I guess you can call it propaganda. They plug their hate, propaganda in. They make people believe that the government's going to come take away all your guns, when in fact that's not what they're doing. But they do that on purpose. And there was a case a long time ago, right from the beginning of the NRA, that explained it to me. And I wish I had a photographic auditory memory so that I could repeat everything that they were saying on the radio, but it made a lot of sense to me, and I hate the NRA even more than I did before. But yeah, it's
in the U.S. there is a sense of paranoia, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, in other words, everybody thinks, oh, they're going to take our guns away. No, that's not what they're doing.
Forget about the idea of taking your guns away. It's this paranoia that the government that the government is out to get the population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yes, especially in the fucking red states and the Republican states. Hell yes.
It's like the government seems to have this gun-ho attitude towards the population. Now, even if it ever came to that point, there would be nothing to stop them from doing it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I always bring up.
See, the thing about you will only
so the need for the guns kind of becomes irrelevant.
Exactly. You will only ever see a successful populist rebellion in a country where the government and the population have access to the same weapons. That's not the case here. The government has Predator drones and jets and tanks and all kinds of shit. That just
it's such a fucking retarded idea that these people just don't understand, and they have no compassion for reality. They have no compassion for these 20-something kids that were just mowed down by this assault weapon. They have no compassion for the thing that just happened.
If you're referring to the Orlando shooting.
That was the one I was just saying, and the second one was the Orlando shooting.
Yeah, I said if you're relating to the Orlando shooting, in my honest opinion, there was nothing that could stop that at this point. He was licensed to use a weapon, and he had ulterior motives.
No, I wasn't referring to that. I was actually referring to the kids that were shot down in Sandy, Connecticut. Okay, but then I referred to the Orlando one, secondary. Okay,
my apologies.
Then there's 10 other college shootings and stuff like that. These people are going in with not all of them, but some of them are going in with assault rifles that shouldn't even be military-style assault weapons that are designed for war.
Yes, I agree. The only oddball out of all the shootings, the mass shootings I've seen so far, is the Orlando shooting, because that's the one where he was actually licensed to carry such a weapon.
Yes, and there's a big thing about why was this person who was on the watch list, the terror watch list, allowed to buy a gun legally, mind you.
Yeah.
This is the big argument.
This is a lack in communication.
The lack of intelligence
lack of intelligence, lack of communication within the government entities that control those issues.
Well, how do we know that he didn't buy those guns before he came on the terrorist watch list, on the FBI watch list?
In fact, there's a major discussion on part of the thing that I was listening to today was about the fact that this guy was legally able to buy this gun, and actually I think he even had a concealed license while he was on the watch list. This is legislation that they're trying to pass. And they're still the Republicans are still delaying the action. They're trying to pass legislation saying that we should not sell guns to people who are on the fucking watch list.
They're not just delaying it; they're blocking it.
Yeah.
And like he was not only was on a terror watch list, he was on a no-fly list, and he was already under FBI investigation for ISIS sympathies.
Right. Sure. Let's sell this guy a fucking gun because we like to even the odds a little bit. We like to have an excuse to shoot him, I guess.
I think.
Good.
I think there shouldn't be any guns in this country. Period.
You're shot for such a statement.
You're far away to the left.
That'll be like next time. Like when we get this mentality of stupidity out of these people and start to have compassion over people dying over being mowed down, especially children, and when people start to wake the fuck up, and we get some kind of gun control, at least on assault weapons and stuff. Maybe 20 more years from now, maybe 25 more years from now, if I live that long, maybe we'll start to see some actual banning of other kinds of guns. But
you're looking at a long, slow process of removal is basically what has to happen.
Yeah, you can't do it all at once because it can spark.
People will riot and cause all kinds of trouble through it. But eventually, if you take out they take out one type and then take out another type and then take out another type till eventually you get down to the ones that you get down to points of 22 rifles or the smaller arms.
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember what it was. It was about Smith & Wesson, and it was back in the late 50s, early 60s. They started to make these so-called safety guns. These guns that have these high-tech safety features on them and stuff. And Smith & Wesson was agreeing with the government, and they were going to do this. and the NRA created a sort of boycott to the point where where the Smith and Wesson nearly went bankrupt. Okay, in other words, they said we will never ever bow down to the government, you know, telling us what we have to put safety features or what we have to make guns like or whatever. And this is why I became to hate the NRA 3 times as much as I used to from this morning, because it was this literally they almost put Smith and Wesson out of business.
It's a shame. I like Smith and Wesson.
Oh, I was going to ask some earlier, and I'm sure this is more. What the hell? I'm seeing like Patrick and Stalin Brony going green.
Oh, going green? I don't know. Not me. I was looking down at my tablet and playing chess.
No, I guess from my end. Sorry, but I think, and I'm just going to play devil advocate here for a second. I think the main problem with Republicans is that they're saying when it comes to the terror watch list, it violates probable cause. Do you think that's accurate?
Well, where's the common sense? Where's the compassion? You know, what about the families of the kids that died and stuff? You know, where's the? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Just honest.
I'm done.
Again, that's their argument, not mine. I was just playing devil's advocate for a second.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna refresh for a second because I think something's going on with my freaking computer.
All right, bye.
No, don't leave us. Oh.
All right.
Oh,
quick, guys, get him as many copyright strikes and community strikes as possible.
Brony, why do you think we should?
I'm sorry.
Stalin Brony, why do you think you know, civilians should have guns in this country? Why do you think that's necessary?
It's not that it's necessary. It's that I think within reason, people should be allowed to have like whatever they want, and that, you know, without emphasis on within reason.
Yeah, but I feel like people having guns isn't within reason.
I think it is, because there's plenty of practical uses for guns: sports, hunting, self-defense in some cases. You know, there's plenty of pragmatic.
That case for self-defense has been brought up more than once, and I still find it hard to.
I mean, I personally will never.
Defending yourself against what exactly?
I don't know. That's why I said in some cases. I mean, I'm not going to defend myself with an AR-15. If I were to use a gun to defend myself, firstly, it'd be like a P99 or something small.
Well,
I don't need an assault rifle.
I'll be honest with you. How do I say your name? Life. How I what? What is your name?
Just life. Life.
You can just life. Yeah.
All right, life.
Change that.
I gotta be honest with you. I sort of share your trepidations against guns. You know, but I'm more interested in the stupidity. As you know, as you can see by my little banner underneath, I'm a science enthusiast. So I'm more interested in the lack of science literacy and literacy in itself in this country, and it goes down to common sense as well. And there are gun accidents, not just assaults and stuff, but there are gun accidents caused by irresponsible gun owners. Now, I'm talking about people having rifles laying around while they get company over, and their brothers and sisters are coming over there with their kids, and so the cousins, a 2-year-old cousin shoots a 5-year-old cousin because he found a gun laying down in the garage when the doorbell rang, and the father was too stupid to put it away. That sort of thing. I have friends, and this happened right here in my neighborhood a couple years ago. I have friends who are gun owners, and they are responsible gun owners. They've never had a problem in their family with guns. They have a safe with I told them I don't even want to see them. I don't care. He has a big safe that has all the guns in it and everything. So these people are responsible gun owners. He invited me to go shooting one day. I said no, thank you. But the point is that there's a difference between responsible gun owners and retards that don't fucking deserve to have a fucking pea shooter.
I remember a case where in the U.S. a child who was mad at his parents shot both his parents with a gun.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard of that too. The problem with these.
And what does the government do, or what did the police do about that situation? Do you remember or recall at all what happened to that scenario?
I don't. I'm sure there's just
as
more.
Much as I remember, they jailed.
There's a lot more than just that one case, and they're all individual cases, and it depends on the situation.
So
see,
the problem with these gun companies is that they're trying to maximize their profits. So they're going to say everybody's responsible to carry a gun because they want to make more money.
It's the
No, that's right. That's why you don't listen to
it's
them.
People who kill people. That's the
Yeah. You get the NRA assholes who are saying, oh yeah, if the teachers had a gun, it wouldn't have happened that way. Bullshit. They want to arm the teachers. What if the teacher doesn't want to carry a gun? She's teaching freaking grammar school kids. You want her to fucking have a gun in the drawer? Right.
No, then we should have all the kids be armed as well.
Yeah, all the kids have a gun in their desk too, right?
Yeah.
This is the fucking stupidity mentality of the NRA. This is why I can't stand it.
Sorry, just real quick. I mean, in that scenario, it's not like you're gonna fucking know who to shoot. I mean, look at that senator who got shot last year. She was shot surrounded by armed guards, and after the shooting, the armed guards didn't know who to go after or didn't know who to shoot.
Well, in the Democratic senators' filibuster that actually worked for the first time in decades, a filibuster actually worked and got the Congress, the Senate to vote on something. He accentuated the one case where that teacher in Sandy Hook, the whole, what do you call it, the shooting, where she tried to protect one of the students. She just grabbed him and hugged him, and they both died because of the assault weapons nature of how powerful it is. It just went through the both of them. But the fact is that this is he showed this, and this is what got even some of the Republican senators to wake the fuck up. Because this was obviously, there's no arming this teacher wasn't going to help anything. You know what I'm saying? It would have just been more dead.
Right.
But just by the way, I mean, if I'm ever mugged, the last thing I want is some random civilian with no arms training firing into a dark alley. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, I mean, so the teacher was a hero, even though she died too, and so did the kid anyway. But she was, I think her actions actually ended up saving at least a few of the kids. But 20, 21, 22, I forget. There was at least 22 or 23 people altogether, but 20 or more of them were kids. Died in that shooting. And now you get these fucking dickhead conspiracy theorists saying, oh no, they're still alive. That was just staged. This is the kind of shit that I can't stand. It just makes me.
All right, you're opening up another can of worms.
It makes. Well, the
save
thing
that
is
for later.
that this is the kind of shit that's going on. And
if you want to
the NRA is responsible for starting. These people are out there in the NRA. They're out there to put out these little conspiracy theories to start the stupidity. They do this on purpose. It's like the propaganda of the NRA.
Patrick, if I were to advise you as to where to put your efforts in your science enthusiasm, I would probably point it towards the theist, and have you work out the problems that they're dealing with currently.
I stopped doing that. I now put the science enthusiasm, and I've actually had Facebook groups for 4 years, which I do that in as well. And I do things like have Juno's Druidal Orbital Insertion parties and things like that, which is happening on July 4th. So that's what I do. I try to increase the literacy of the country, and I don't give any answers that I don't have. I don't have the answer to
what we need is
violence.
More education in the system,
especially
in the U.S. system right now.
I like the idea that we're talking about the gun violence. I like the idea that we're throwing this stuff around in this hangout.
See, I thought I had a thought, and
sorry to hear that. Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
pushing it. Anyway, I thought UK has something where for sports guns specifically, the weapon's not allowed to leave the gun range, but you can have a wide range of weapons. It's just not allowed to leave the gun range, and you're allowed to go there, take out your gun, and shoot with it, and then put it back and go home.
Lock and key and take it home. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't even take it home. You just leave it at the range. And I thought What if we like do something like that and just let people, technically own whatever gun they want for like, fun?
And where is it going to stay?
At the range.
Like putting it in the money in the bank kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
renting.
sorry. I own a
renting an
telescope.
object.
I'm not going to take my telescope to an observatory, and that's the only place I can use it and lock it up somewhere. And
Your telescope's not a deadly
That's
weapon.
not equivalent. That's not an equivalent.
Your telescope's not a deadly weapon.
I'm just giving you an example. It's a piece of property. It's not the same thing.
No, I mean for ridiculous guns that people might want to shoot. For instance, an MG42. If you want to shoot an MG42, they're fun. Like I shot one at a military museum. They're hilarious. But I would never let someone have that in their home. You see what I'm saying?
How would you buy it in the first place?
You buy it at the range or you buy it at a gun store, okay, and then the gun store gives it to the range of your choice, and then you go to that.
You might be better off just renting the gun and
yeah, right. No, I mean, yeah, something like that, I guess.
Stalin, that's such a logistics nightmare. It's pathetic. I mean, there's so many
but
illegal guns.
That's like something I would want, because I don't want to like, prevent people from using like ridiculously powerful guns because they're fun. It's just I don't want them to have them in their home, because no one needs like a Browning 50 cal in their home, but they're fun to shoot.
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, but it's also fun to do other
What's
stuff.
the matter?
So.
What's the matter, Ranger?
I'm sorry. I was searching through my Facebook page, and Stalin's Bunny. I know I mentioned this to you. Delaware has its own version of the Family Policy Council.
Yeah.
The thing that Tony Perkins is in charge of.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just stumbled across this. This was the first thing on their Facebook page.
What was this? Breaking abortion clinic harvested whole baby brains used at a youth summer camp. What is this crap?
Exactly. That's why I said what the fuck.
I don't
think
believe
this is
that
crap.
for
I don't
a
think this
second.
is even accurate at all.
Yeah,
No, it's
I
not.
guarantee you that's not even close to reality.
What?
Yeah, this is a real place where I live at. It's in Seaford. It is a real organization.
What is the point of giving whole brains to a summer camp? What would be the purpose of such an action?
Exactly. Now you know what I deal with in Delaware.
So they're providing.
Yeah, but again, I'll go back to the state when you're reading that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have any sort of logistics to it. It's.
Can you put that back up? I didn't read the whole thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Give me a second.
Is it like they're performing science experiments? Are they learning the brain?
I can probably click on the thing if you want.
Do it.
Yeah. Detail would be great.
Yeah, sorry. I mean,
Where'd it go?
Just relax.
He's bringing up the article.
Loading it up.
Bringing up the article. Just relax.
Jesus.
Oh yeah,
The nerve of Patrick.
Okay, could you scroll now so I can read the bottom line that I keep missing?
Yes. It'll freaking scroll down. Yeah, this looks like a, credible website.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to it myself so I can see the damn thing.
No, I can pause it back. See. It's right here. Watch.
Just
let me read the fucking thing.
He's got slow.
The journal continues in similarly horrifying fashion, describing triplets, twins, and babies past the point of vulnerability. I don't get. Clinic provided whole brains for kids' summer camp. There's got to be some kind of sensationalism going on there, but
doesn't make any sense at all.
Give me the website so I can read the whole fucking article.
That's what I'm doing now. I can freaking. Oh, come on, damn it. There we go. Here's the gruesome journal of.
You know what? This is probably propaganda by the theist movement.
Yeah. Various body parts of aborted babies, and in some cases, what happens.
Another attack on
abortion babies, and in some cases, happen to be them.
Another attack on family. The family.
Oh, sorry.
What's the name of that group that deals with abortions?
Family policy.
All right. The actual liveactionnews.org abortion clinic. Can you just put that link in the side chat, please?
Yeah, sure.
That would have been so much easier.
Well, I just stumbled across it. But yeah, you can read it. Y'all can read it later.
What is it? The family clinic? What's the name of that clinic down
Planned Parenthood.
Huh?
Is that what you're talking about?
Which one?
What are you talking about? Planned Parenthood?
The clinics that do the abortions. What are they called down there?
Abortion
clinics?
Okay, let me rephrase that. There's
Yeah,
a
the
family
code
clinics down there
yeah,
that
the
were
code
accused
name-
at one time of harvesting body parts.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the code name for abortion clinics.
Even though that's only 3% of what they do.
Right. That's
No,
not.
no, no,
really,
hold
that's
on,
not
hold
really a
on.
code name for abortion clinic. Planned Parenthood is an entire.
You got
process.
that kind of wrong, atheist stranger. 3% of their funding goes to that. It's not 3%.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
What I was about to say is they've been attacked before. Planned Parenthood has been attacked based on this circumstance. So I would not be surprised if this is another attempt at the far, I think it's the right, as it's traditionally called, the far right's attack again on the Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said, what the fuck? I'm like, really? I mean, I work at I do banquets in a casino, and I've had these a-holes there before.
Yeah, this is ridiculously sensationalized. Here's one part. While details of the summer camp and the students remain scarce, the horror of having young people handle and cut into the brains of aborted, likely viable babies. Where did that fucking sentence come from? Likely viable baby? No.
It's either viable or it's not.
Yeah, no, that's a sensationalized horror picture right there. Possibly without their knowledge is hardly conceivable. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. An abortion of a child, what do you think is left of the child after the abortion?
Are you talking to me?
No, Patrick there.
That's a whole other subject. What you're
It's
asking,
not a whole other subject. They're talking about removing something that's probably damaged beyond all repair, and it probably too small to be of any use to anyone anyway.
It's the same language that
For a child to get a brain large enough to be used in any sort of
I'm trying
experiment.
to answer your question. It's the same language that so-called pro-life people who say that basically we're murderers, even though we're talking about aborting fetuses and stuff. You talk about using the same kind of language to sensationalize and horrify or vilify this so-called practice that perhaps this medical summer camp teaching medical science to some kids is using whole baby brains to study. I don't think so. I think that's either an outright lie or horrific exaggeration.
So what
So
would
then
make
you went
it a
on to
whole
ask me this
outright
question
lie?
about what do I think is left after an aborted. I mean, that's a whole.
So what would bring you to that conclusion?
Let me try to explain to you about my 4 years of experience in. If you go to my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, I am the president and chief of. Well, let's put it this way. I've got my bullshit detectors, and I have adjusted and sharpened my bullshit detectors to the point where I can detect bullshit within miles from me. So like if you're a Harry Potter fan, I've got my dark detectors. I've got my sneaker scopes. My sneaker scopes are going off the minute I read this fucking.
Well, the thing is your gut is nowhere close to enough to prove an assertion like that.
This was you started asking me a million questions all at once, and I'm glad that you like me to the point where you take my opinion as to such a great level, but you're asking me questions that are just needing a lot more explanation.
I'm trying
to figure out where you came to your
I
conclusion.
smell bullshit here.
I came to the
And it's like,
conclusion by
well,
reading
okay.
the article and seeing how sensationalized and ridiculous it sounds.
There's more to it than that, Patrick.
I'm sure there
Yeah,
is.
you need. Yeah, that's not very. You haven't met your burden of proof. The only way to prove this is bullshit is to research what they're actually talking about and know what actually happened.
Understanding the human body, understanding what happens after an abortion, what the size of the
They're
brain,
claiming-
and
they're
the point
claiming
of
that
which
they've
an
taken
abortion
brains
can
of
perform.
likely viable babies and given it to the summer camp, as if this was a normal thing. This is a hell of an accusation. This is ridiculous.
At what stage are babies aborted, Patrick?
Oh, there's
Well, it depends on the state.
Really? Really? Are you asking me? Do I look like a fucking doctor? The babies are aborted in many stages.
Yeah, it depends on the state.
From fetus on up to a certain.
Some states have it like
I
before
like to call
12
it icky
weeks or
stage.
before 20 weeks, or it's different from state to state.
There are stages at which I've heard of abortions that I don't even, I cringe and I don't even like the idea. So I have my own sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Do some studies, Patrick, please.
No, I have my own ideas of when it's too late to be.
But I don't. Okay, that's another thing. I have to argue with both of you here. Skeptic, what do you want about?
Well,
I
he's
don't
thinking
understand what-
in order for a baby's brain to be used as a tool, it would have to maintain a certain size. But the size
Okay,
of your
I get it.
The size of your
that.
fist.
But how does that?
Why?
Shut the fuck up for a moment. How does that apply to the story? How does that apply to what
An
he's saying?
abortion baby is when they abort a baby, they remove it by suction, and
Right.
and everything is destroyed. Essentially, it's torn apart.
Okay.
So there's nothing left to be used as a science as research.
Okay, so you're actually agreeing with me then. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying the whole article sounds like it smells funny. This is like bullshit.
I'm just trying to find out, Patrick, if you understand why you think it's bullshit.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, you want to ask me why I think I understand because you want to teach me something. You know what?
For someone who idolizes learning and shit, you sure are revolted by the fact of someone else teaching you something.
No, it's the way he went about it. It's like, oh, you can't possibly understand. But I'm trying to tell you that the article smelled funny to me because this idea of using whole baby brains.
I mean, I don't agree with how he did it.
It was ridiculous. And you, what's your name, skeptic, turn around and ask me like you started to like put me on the fucking stand, the what do you call it, on trial stand here, asking me how you want to make sure that I understand why I'm thinking that. Like, who the fuck are you?
So, Patrick, you're basically saying that it's off of intuition. It's intuitive.
Yeah, it's intuitively sensationalized. I mean, even Skeptic was pointing to that. I didn't realize it until now, but he's obviously saying the same thing. He's obviously saying, like, yeah, right, as if we're going to get whole baby brains to send off to a summer camp because after an abortion, the thing is torn apart. That sort of thing. So if he understood that already, why is he making it like I didn't understand that?
Because you didn't sound like you understood that, Patrick.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, he just said it's intuition. That's all. I use my intuition all the time.
I don't. I outright dismiss it.
Science does not base itself on intuition.
Yeah, intuition is.
I put it to you in the fantasy way of sneaker scopes and dark detectors. You know, I could smell bullshit a mile away, and that article smells of bullshit from like several bulls.
Yeah,
you should use intuition and common sense sometimes, man. Doesn't always have to be a scientific freaking process.
It's worked for me so far. I don't understand why you would.
It's worked for many people, including scientists and many others. Without
scientists, engineers, politicians.
Yeah, without proving your point, you really don't have anything.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is you're insulting my intelligence. How's that?
Yeah, but intuition.
Well, I'm all
works
for insulting people's intelligences, so I mean.
Yeah, but intuition works as well. You don't have to use a scientific method in every case, man.
You shouldn't have gotten offended if I asked you to prove your point.
No, what you did was you reversed it. Okay, you were like being snobbery about it, and I didn't realize it until the last minute. Okay, I understood that. I understood that there's a mess after abortion of late stages. Okay, and they're talking about taking whole baby brains as if it was like a fucking thing to do and it was no problem. In other words, there's some bullshit there. I understood that without having to go into the gory details, but you insisted on going into the gory details.
Okay. I don't understand what's wrong with the gory details.
I don't like being put on trial without being told I'm being put on trial before I'm put on trial.
All right, I'm putting you on trial, Patrick.
Patrick, these are groups that I've been in many groups, and these are the points that I've had to defend myself upon.
Yeah, and those are the groups that I don't go into anymore because they're all a bunch of fucking dickheads. So have fun with them, but I ain't one of them. So don't be treating me like one.
I am. Please treat me like one.
It's just intuition is just as important as that scientific method y'all talking about.
Nope, I disagree.
Well, actually,
you should be able to.
There's no distinction between it, really. I mean intuition.
It's like saying your gut feeling controls.
Intuition is part of the scientific method to begin with. You have to have an idea. It has to be.
Well, no. An idea is different than.
It has to be some kind of formulation of intuition to tell you that something has to work like this. So you create a hypothesis out of your intuition, and then from there you build on it by testing your hypotheses, etc. But intuition has everything to do with the scientific method right from the get-go.
No. If you're using your intuition to come up with a hypothesis, you're doing it wrong. You need to use observation to come up with a hypothesis. You take what you observe and you construct a hypothesis based on what you observe.
Yes, but the first thing that happens when you step off the ladder and say, okay, what's going on here? It's your intuition that leads you to the things that you need to observe.
I don't agree.
Yes, you make observations, but what are you observing? What are you walking over towards this to observe if you don't know what to look for in the first place?
I think that's like curiosity more than anything.
That's the first part. The very first step, ground zero is intuition. Okay, I think this is where I need to look. And then you start making your observations.
Yeah, and there's something.
That's a blind concept, Patrick. That's a very blind concept.
Yeah, you actually.
If something doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right. I mean, we can use our intuition a lot of times in life. We don't have to use scientific method.
No, because your intuition.
We don't have to use scientific method for every single thing we do.
Intuition has tended to be a mechanical mechanism of something doesn't add up.
Right. Something doesn't add up here. Let me check this out.
Now, so
let me make some observations.
Okay, so then we get to the point. Something doesn't add up. So how do you prove that point?
It doesn't feel right.
You know what?
You can't just say it doesn't feel right.
I don't care.
You sound too much like those other. You're starting to sound like those other. I know you're not one of them, but you're starting to sound like those fucking so-called philosophers from those other, God is great groups. To sit there and use word salad. Okay, we weren't talking about that.
There's no word salad.
We weren't talking about that. Okay, you're doing this word salad thing on me that I can't stand. So that's why I left those other groups.
I don't think this is word salad. I think this is quite. I think we're quite consistent in our point.
About their position.
Yeah. I mean, I outright reject intuition entirely. Like, I think it's a bad concept, and I use, observation and the scientific method. Not like I don't go through the scientific method for everything I do, obviously, but I try to use observation and critical thinking in everything I do.
Every hangout you created here, you and the Atheist Ranger made out here, and you started putting these videos up and started laughing at how ridiculous they are. It's your intuition that's making you laugh at them.
Yeah, but that's something entirely different. This is just us having fun.
That's all I did with the article. I was like, yeah, right, with the article, and all of a sudden.
fair enough. But that's what we're talking about now. We're talking about intuition and science.
By saying I was putting on trial by saying, what makes you say that, Patrick? Why do you think that article?
The conversation has moved past that. The conversation is past that. We're talking about intuition and science, is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. What led to it was that article, and me saying that it was bullshit.
Yeah, but now we're here, so let's operate in this region. Okay.
This is actually a good conversation. I like it.
Yeah, I think critical thinking is the cornerstone of everything you should be doing. I think critical thinking is probably the most important like intellectual skill you could possibly possess. Like rather than
the
intuition.
process of putting 1 plus 2 plus 3 together is very important.
Right.
Yes. But
yeah, but you can't.
Oh yes, but.
But don't
Gotta get that button there.
use to take a conversation off on a tangent.
This is not a tangent. I like this conversation. Life is liking this conversation. I think atheists.
You're about to say something?
Yeah, but you don't need to use critical thinking for everything. It just takes too long to even do something.
No, it doesn't.
I disagree. Critical thinking is the crux of all thinking.
Yeah, critical thinking for me, like critical thinking is like a given. It's like
If you don't question everything around you, then how do you think of anything?
Yeah, it starts with a question, like you're critically thinking about the environment or like around you. That's how you discover things about that environment. It's critical thinking.
Yeah, but critical thinking can be a time-consuming process.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, you use critical thinking in your daily process without even knowing you're using it.
Yeah, you use critical thinking for
everything. You could
everything.
have poor critical thinking skills and be a dummy through your life, but obviously you're not a dummy because you do have better critical thinking skills than you think you have. You just think that it's got some kind of big definition tied to it. But the fact that you're here and you're sitting here on this panel here and we're talking about this, you're using critical thinking skills for every word that comes out of your mouth, which is a good thing, which is the right thing to do. So far, you sound like an intelligent person to me, which means that you have decent critical thinking skills.
Yeah, critical thinking. A lot of the time,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, when I paint a picture, I don't use critical thinking. I just paint it. It's just intuition. It just feels right, man.
Well,
you're using a part of your brain that's creativity.
You're critically thinking, regardless of whether you think you are or not.
That is critical thinking. You are using your critical thinking skills whether you realize it or not.
Now, people with bad critical thinking skills are people that honestly believe the Earth is flat, for example.
That's a severe version of critical thinking.
Yeah, well, of course, I don't want to give you a
critical
dissertation or anything. I just wanted to, put it in a nutshell.
Critical thinking could be as simple as asking a question, right? So you could go out. It's like, what caused this, and then you use your you're critically thinking right then and there. You're just by asking the question.
Right, and then you use critical thinking for figuring out how you're going to observe the method, your method of figuring out how it works or why it's happening or whatever.
I'm telling
you, if you have bad critical thinking,
it's not time consuming. It's just like these thoughts.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, when I paint a picture, I don't use any critical thinking. I just paint it.
But that's an oxymoron.
It's complete intuition.
Let him finish, Patrick.
Painting a picture is critical thinking.
I'm telling you, it's not. It's something different.
No, you're critically thinking if you don't realize it. You are critically thinking. I guarantee it.
I disagree.
I will give you $10,000. If you could paint a picture without critically thinking, I will give you $10,000 and a blowjob. No, I'll give you that one anyway.
What I'm telling you is that I just do it. I don't think. I just do it. I just do it. I don't use critical thinking skills.
Critically thinking does not necessarily have to be like a rigorous thought process.
It is.
Critical thinking is not analyzation. You're confusing it with analyzation. Analyzing is a process.
Okay. The problem is
to do a complex math problem, for example, you have to have analytical to sit there and do the work. Critical thinking comes automatically. It's part of everyday process that your brain does unconsciously, and sometimes consciously.
What I'm basing this off of is the critical thinking class I took in college. That's what I'm basing this off.
Well, see, that's just that, like when you take
I don't do none of that stuff when I paint. No.
What they're doing when they teach you critical thinking is they're taking you through the process that your brain goes through unconsciously. Your brain goes through this when you critically think. Your brain goes through these steps unconsciously. You don't even realize it. It's just something that's almost instantaneous.
So wait, just so that way I'm clear. Are you and Patrick saying that all thinking is critical thinking?
No.
Okay.
Specific, specific decision-making thinking is critical thinking.
I mean, is that what you're trying to get at, Life? If I'm not mistaken, are you trying to tell them that not all thinking is critical thinking? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I could be wrong.
Now that you said you had a college course in critical thinking, I didn't know that. So maybe you can give us an example of some of the, say, a critical thinking 101 class. What was the first thing they were telling you?
Good.
Oh, put me on the spot here. I took this class like a year ago. Critical thinking is like basically peeling back the layers of something to see if it's true. I mean, that's basically
more
what
analysis.
I got out of it.
That's a specific type of critical thinking. It's
okay,
analytical
that's
thinking.
what I got out of it.
Yeah, that's a specific type of critical thinking.
All right, look, I'm a chess player, right?
When you peel back the layers of a subject, and if you find like too many faults within that, then it's basically not true in a way.
Yeah, you're analyzing it. You're interrogating it.
Exactly. So that's just a small part of critical thinking. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. You're determining whether all the connections make sense.
Well, here's a perfect example. Right from the beginning, I don't mean to drum up the same argument, but what led me to like laugh at this article, the very first sentence about these whole baby brains being sent to this summer camp, like wait, whoa, that just like went against every critical thought in my head at the, for like within a half a second period of time. It's like something is wrong with this. There's definitely something. It broke
you.
I peeled back the layers within a split second, and something was wrong with it right away. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. In other words, some critical thinking just happens subconsciously. It just happens automatically. I call it my bullshit detector, as a joke, because we got these atheist jokes with these bullshit detectors. So that's what brought that up. But you're right. I guess there is some critical thinking that takes some analyzation. Like I'm a chess player, so it takes some critical thinking into making better moves than I sometimes make.
Yeah. Critical thinking is essentially decision-making thinking, like from my understanding of it. It's essentially like, when you're saying, do I believe this or do I not believe this, you're making a decision and you're using analytical thinking specifically, which is a specific type of critical thinking, to come to that decision. It's any decision-making specifically is critical thinking. Do I have that right? Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone?
No, it sounds about right.
Okay.
It makes
sense. So
sense.
far, I haven't found anything that isn't connecting.
Okay, cool.
It makes sense. I was just basing
I'm intelligent, yay!
I was just basing that definition of critical thinking what I learned in that class. So that was my whole definition.
I guess we could be wrong. I mean, I guess there's a specific type of critical thinking, but there are general critical thinking skills that should come up automatically just in everyday life. Walking down the street, you don't have to critically think on how to put one foot in front of the other, but there are parts of the brain that take care of that for you. So there are some thinking skills that come along automatically. There's some that are sort of flowing into the actual conscious stage where you have to think about them, and it goes, it's complex. But basic critical thinking, you don't have to be a fucking genius to figure out that the Earth is definitely not flat.
Well, while you're walking down the street, you're also critically thinking, is that bus too close to me? Is that car too close to me? Am I getting towards the light in the right time period? There are many critical equations that come into light just walking down the street.
Right. And it's not something that you sit there and analyze and it takes all this time. It's just automatic. It's just your sensory input. If you're not blind or deaf, your eyes and your ears are telling you things. And if you are blind or deaf, you have other senses that, however you've developed them, that tell you some of the same things.
Gotcha. I learned something new.
That's why we come
we're here for.
Yeah.
So I said, we know where you're going right now. We see it, and at least I do anyway. I've seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here to teach people things. I'm just here to bullshit. That's what I do. Occasionally, I strike on an intelligent thought. That's all I am.
Excuse me, I came here for an argument.
Yeah, that's me. I came here to refute your bullshit.
No, you didn't.
I came here to refute Patrick's hair.
Okay. Like awkward silence.
So, all right. So, what do you guys think about transhumanism?
I love it.
Transhumanism?
I don't know.
It's like you transfer your brain to a computer or
Well, that's
robot.
not necessarily transhumanism.
Oh, okay. Well, explain transhumanism then.
Transhumanism is essentially the idea that we artificially change ourselves to be something that is not human. That it could include transferring our brain into a computer or something of that nature, but it could also include something like becoming a cyborg or something crazy like
Well,
that.
actually, more specifically, and to date, it's the idea that it is possible we're coming up to the technology where we can actually enhance ourselves with electronics.
Right.
For example, you can literally put chips, embedded chips connected to certain parts of your brain. That's possible, and that's too far a future that we can connect to the internet just by thinking about it.
And then people will hack into your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'll still do it anyway.
Oh no, I got a computer virus. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Aside from being
There's so much porn in my head.
aside from being able to read the brain,
My brain is blue screened.
No, but for example, even if there's actually people experimenting with this now. I don't know what they're connecting themselves to, but they've got these chips in their arms and shit that I don't know what they do. But the first stage was some medical breakthroughs where they were prosthesis, for example. They did an actual experiment with a monkey, believe it or not, and the monkey was not harmed. Where they attached probes to the monkey's head, and he was able to control a computer, a mechanical arm, to grab something, whether it's a banana or whatever. In other words, it's possible just by thinking about something to tell a machine to do something through a computer. So there's something that can be enhanced. Another example would be, we haven't gotten the technology to actually connect it to our neurons yet, but what if we were to actually add memory, hard memory? Imagine being able to recall something.
We can currently change
the idea
person's brain waves with magnetism. It's been proven to be able to do that.
Right.
Also, going back to
just like there's new prosthetics, for example, people who lost arms and legs, that they actually have where they can use the nerve endings on the arm to control the motors in the hand, and if they have some of the things like that already, which is it's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. But nevertheless, what about not too far a future? What about actually having some hard memory? Just like I add memory to my computer, put some memory chips in.
I like that
It's
idea.
actually be able to remember something in a snap of a finger.
I like that idea too, because our memories are extremely fallible, and with hard memory, perhaps we can it would be a more accurate
it would be a file. Yeah. It would be. Bar any defects in the chip or anything, it would be a basic perfect recall.
Yeah, but our brains sometimes repress certain memories for our own benefit.
Yeah, well, that's why I said not too far a future, but not like today. But that's transhumanism.
No, I was saying,
the idea of enhancing your body, and in the far off future, transhumanism is going to be like Stalin has said, becoming that fucking cyborg.
I can't wait. I can't wait to become a T-800.
T-101.
And why is that? Is that because you want to live forever, or you want to have superpowers? What is that about?
Both.
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 I mean both.
No, I don't want to live forever. That's for sure.
I'm
57 years old now, and I've been through depressing times where I wish I wasn't alive. I've been through those times. I'm okay now, but
Plus, they wouldn't really be superpowers once everyone has them.
So. Oh, true, yeah.
That's why I'll have the best of all augmentations, so I'll be the most powerful.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking.
I said I'll have the best of all the augmentations, and I'll be the most powerful.
Yeah, that's a good word, augmentations. But there's so many good sci-fis, even as far back as the 60s. There's so many good sci-fis about AI and cyber augmentations of humans and things like that.
Forbidden Planet.
There's a pretty long list of them. Hidden Planet? Maybe.
That's a good one.
Hidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet. Oh, that's that. Oh, I've got that on tape. Oh, you want to see
I know.
it? I'll show it to you.
Yeah, go grab it.
All right, I'll grab it.
Get him out here.
But the point is that there's a lot of good science fictions out there. Some recent, some not so recent, about augmentation and stuff like that. I mean, even Star Trek with Data, the Next Generation with Data, which is basically the Isaac Asimov's iRobot thing, with the positronic brain. There's so many out there.
I don't know if anyone here plays a lot of video games, but I know Patrick doesn't, and I don't think Atheist Ranger does. But there's a game called Deus Ex that's all about augmentations and things like that.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
Was that the video game that accidentally predicted the future?
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, it was the one that had the Twin Towers out of the sky drop before 9/11 in New York.
And then in the game they said, they were destroyed in a terrorist attack, and then 9/11 happened 2 years later.
There you go.
But how do you know? How do you know if that didn't cause the future? How do you know if that didn't plant an idea in somebody's head subconsciously and they?
Okay, I don't think Al Qaeda was playing Deus Ex.
How do you know?
I don't, but I don't think they were.
He's assuming that they weren't.
Anybody see this?
That's Fantastic Planet.
Didn't you say that?
I said Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet is a whole different story.
I know, that's what I was talking about, though. I was talking about Forbidden Planet.
No, I don't have that one. But Forbidden Planet which one was that?
It was the one about the robot.
Oh, yeah, that's not exactly that's.
That was more of it was like the AI type.
That's more of a. This, on the other hand, is an animation back in the 60s, was it? Or is it early 70s? I think 1973. It's about these are actually humans. These people, and the people that were. The Fantastic Planet was actually Terra. Anyway, it's an off-the-wall sci-fi animation. It's kind of weird. I would recommend it. Find it.
It's probably online somewhere. I'll watch it.
As far as
see you, Skep.
As far as being one of those sci-fis that I was recommending, this is a off-the-wall one. There's so many with so many different subjects. Let me think. Anne McCaffrey's Freedom's Landing series, 3 books. It's less about computer enhancement, more about a race that controls other races. Then there's I don't know. There's so many. I've got a few here. There's ones about AI. What the hell's the name of it? I'll think. Give me a minute. Let me mute. I don't want to take up the whole conversation.
Anyway.
Yeah. Like I said before, I love to Excess. I've played them all.
Oh yeah, I have too. I fucking love them. I can't wait for the new one.
Same here, especially with what you can do now.
What's it called? Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is what it's called.
Yeah, that's it, and I like it because there's new mechanics to the game, and I certainly like how they've implicated it.
See, I like the name too, because the name of the game, it's Deus Ex is from God in Latin.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good. Hello? Anyone?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
For some reason,
I was just listening to you guys.
You're the one over here thinks like Osama bin Laden was hunched over a PlayStation 2 playing Deus Ex. And he was like, "Bros, I got it. We're going to attack the World Trade Center." That was borderline Russian, but fuck it.
It's possible. It's possible. You know about the butterfly effect, right?
I was going to say that. I was going to say, oh yeah, the butterfly effect. The Kraken project, Douglas Preston, is about an AI. I'll tell you more about it. I don't want to interrupt.
I mean, don't you think a lot of these inventions came from like people reading books and ideas
Oh
just
yeah,
popping in their heads.
definitely.
You know, I mean, it was writing books about AI before there was AI. It put an idea in somebody's head to create the thing.
Yeah.
Well, you have to
I
understand
agree.
that science fiction writers are some of the best scientists, or I should say they're almost scientists in their own right. You know, they have to understand science. You know, of course they make it fiction, they make it fantastic, and you have to take everything they do with a grain of salt. But it's the idea of, you know, turning science into fiction is kind of like trying to predict the future. This is what they do. A good science fiction writer will make it really fantastic.
Exactly. So maybe they're actually creating the future through their ideas. Maybe they're not like actual predicting the future, but they're creating it in a way.
Oh yeah, I mean, the communicator, Star Trek communicators that flipped over. The flip phones weren't a prediction of the future; they were a cause of the Star Trek effect, because
Exactly.
Star Trek had the communicator that flipped. So the cell phone companies started saying, well, that looks cool. Let's make a phone like that. You know.
Oh man, I want to show the entire crew of the Enterprise what my communicator can do.
So anyway, the Kraken Project by Douglas Preston was a more recent 2000-something science fiction about it's about the moon Titan, the Saturn's moon Titan is a lake Kraken or something like that. So it was a whole science fiction based on this idea that they were going to send a probe to Titan called the Kraken Project, and they needed it to be efficient and what's the word I'm looking for? They needed to be, if it was in danger, they needed this probe to be able to take care of itself somehow if it sensed danger, you know. So they needed to be hard AI. So they had this genius girl working on it, this woman, and they were working on this AI software for so long, and then she came up with an idea, and it was her secret. And how, because every time the whole group in this so-called NASA thing trying to make it work, it always crashed. After so many days, it crashed. So she came up with this idea, and I'm not sure if I should tell you to give any spoiler alerts, but if you're not going to read the book, I'll tell you. If you tell me you're going to read it,
I actually might read it.
Okay, so I won't tell you. But there is a secret that she does, which solves the problem of this computer program crashing, and it does become aware. So they created this dome or this building completely sealed, and they created this Titan-like atmosphere in it and whatnot, and they tested this program in the probe. Well, the probe became self-aware and sensed that it was in danger, and it went into emergency mode or whatever, and it broke out of there. It caused a huge explosion, killed a few people, and the program, which was supposed to be in a closed environment, computer environment, escaped through the internet. And now we have an artificially intelligent small piece of software that could fit on a small thumb drive running through the internet thinking that this was the real world. Okay? It's a very interesting story.
That's a scary real world if the internet's your real world.
Where it comes into transhumanism, I'm going to tell you, not to give you any spoilers, but in the end, the President of the United States is a real scumbag. And he happens to have this new pacemaker, which is high tech, and it changes his life. So that's as much as I'm going to tell you.
Is anyone else going to read this book? Read what book?
No? Yeah, what book
you talking about?
The Kraken Project by Douglas Preston.
Okay, can I make a prediction, or can I make a guess as to what she does to the AI?
Sure.
Does she copy her consciousness or her brain into it? Okay.
Absolutely not. It's a tiny little program that's self-learning. But what she does is something that, if I hint
don't tell me,
I'm going to give you a spoiler.
Because
it's almost I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint.
Oh man.
It's in our lives, it's a regular biological process.
She fucks it.
Something that we need all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
Interesting. I have a few ideas. I'm gonna read it. I want to read this fucking book. It sounds interesting. But anyway, so what are you guys' like favorite sci-fi? Doctor, you're not allowed to answer this.
It's actually not Doctor Who for me.
Oh, okay, then go ahead and answer it.
It would be Ghost in the Shell.
I would say.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I do like Ghost in the Shell.
I would say The Matrix. I like The Matrix.
Okay.
I'm more of a Trekkie fan.
I like The Matrix too. That was, especially like the soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
They didn't use classical music. They used heavy metal, propeller heads and shit. Fucking Man Against the Machine.
Yeah,
Ranger.
No, I don't know if it still qualifies as sci-fi, but Terminator.
That was mine. Terminator.
Which one is your favorite?
Terminator.
No,
first one was
Judgment Day is my, or not Judgment Day. What the fuck was it? The second one, yeah, that is Judgment Day.
Yeah, the second one was cool. Second one was cool. But
yeah,
the first one was really about, artificial intelligence and stuff. The second one was cool with the what's his name, with the liquid metal one.
Yeah, I like the liquid metal dude.
Yeah, that was fucking.
The T-1000 liquid metal Terminator.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Exactly. What, the second one or the first one?
See, if you say the second one's your favorite, you may as well also say the third, because they're like the same movie, except the third one's like a horrible parody of the second one.
Yeah, I did not like the third one.
The third
one
was
and
like
two are great. They're fine. It was a continuation. It was a logical continuation, but the third one was just
over the top. Yeah.
It was just
it was the same. It was the exact same as the second movie, except just like a parody almost. It was like
I don't even remember it. That's how much I didn't like it.
It's like the Terminator goes back in time, and then he goes and he does the same thing. He goes into the bar to get the clothes, except this time it's a gay bar. And
it was like a fucking spoof almost. You know what I do have? I have the special edition of Terminator 2 with about 12 minutes extra, and it makes a lot of sense because what they cut out of the actual movie theater version, they left out some explanation on how they fixed him or something. So in this special edition, it shows the footage where what's her name takes out the chip out of the Terminator's head, and I forget what they do to it. I don't remember, but it explains a lot. It explains a lot of the missing stuff. Like how did that happen? You were scratching your head. There's like 10 minutes worth of footage that they cut out, of scenes that they cut out to shorten the movie that they shouldn't have, that explain the things that you didn't understand.
Cool.
Makes sense.
I might have to buy that. See if one's for sale somewhere. Yeah, Terminator 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah. Make sure you watch the extended version, or sometimes you could just watch the missing scenes by themselves and then watch the extended version so you can make sense of it.
All right. I'd say another one. Good.
I was gonna say, do you think Sarah Connor should have killed that black dude?
What black dude?
You remember? Remember, she wanted to kill a black dude to stop him from inventing the Terminators in the future.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah, that was intense. That was one of the more intense parts. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't think.
I think her son was correct in Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, was correct in stopping her. She definitely.
Well, see, if she did that, it would have like. I don't even know that it would. It would have a butterfly effect, or it would just cause a loop. It's like she kills him, and then
that's what I was thinking.
Then the Terminator never goes back in time, so then he never gets killed in that timeline. So then he invents the Terminator anyway, and then he gets sent back in time. It just causes.
But you see, this is why I love. This is why I love time travel science fictions, even as far back as what's his name? The short story. The Time Machine. I love time travel movies and TV shows. The fact that the T-1000 was made in the first place and the whole Terminator thing was created in the first place was because of a time loop. Because that what's his name, Doctor whatever his name, the black guy, because he actually found the arm of the first Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the chip in the head was found. He was working on that technology, and it was far beyond everything he went. All that stuff. It was like there was like a time loop going on. There was like he caused it. So she was in a wrong way, sense that if she killed him, it would stop, but it wouldn't stop because that chip was still there. So somebody else would be working on it anyway.
Yeah, but he pretty much died, and all of his research went with him in the second movie. So
Yeah.
it didn't matter if it killed him or not, if she killed him or not.
Right. I mean, he didn't have to die, but his research and everything, all that stuff, including the chip, had to be destroyed. And in the end, of course, we know that the Terminator. There's no spoilers here because we all saw the movie. The chip was destroyed by the Terminator. He took it with him and went into the molten.
Yeah, but he still got created anyway, even though the research was destroyed.
Yeah, because then that would because the Terminator is the one that destroyed the ship. If the Terminator was never invented, then he never destroyed the chip.
Yeah, so he had to be created anyway in order to destroy the chip, right?
I think the whole point of that was that you can't change the future no matter what.
Yeah. You really can't.
It's a whole, we can go ahead of time, but we can't go back in time.
See, the Teen Titans, the old cartoon, the good cartoon, not this new shit.
Yeah.
It had the one episode. It had the one episode where the guy goes back in time to steal that artifact, and then Starfire asks him a question like, "Why are you trying to steal it?" And then he was like, "I stole it because history says it went missing. History says it went missing because I stole it." And that's kind of an interesting that sort of sums up the whole paradox.
I used to watch that show, and I know exactly what you mean about this new bullshit that's on, but I don't remember that episode.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, it was the one where she does something. I don't remember the episode entirely, but she does something, and then she goes and sees the future, and the Titans have broken up, and they're all old and disheveled and shit. And she has to go back in time to try to stop that, but then she realizes you can't change the future anyway. And then, or no, maybe she realizes you can change the future or something. I don't remember exactly, but I always remembered that line from the show. I went back in time to steal it because history says it went missing. History says it went missing because I went back in time to steal it.
Well, there's another animated sci-fi that goes along with a little bit later, actually 1980s, called Light Years, and it's about a time travel. And Gondahal, in 1,000 years, Gondahal will be saved. 1,000 years ago, in 1,000 years, Gondahal will be destroyed. 1,000 years ago, Gondahal will be saved, or something like that. One way or the other, it was like this 2,000-year period where it was saved, it was destroyed, it was destroyed, it was saved, and it was a whole
Is it like the history repeats itself type thing?
It was a riddle, and it was a really strange. And these two animes, especially Light Years, is not for the lighthearted. It's got some weird things in it. Some really.
I have to watch
things.
It now.
Yeah, it's called Light Years. Look it up. Light Years.
I'm going to. It's good.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That and of course Fantastic Planet, but Light Years was definitely the weirder one.
I like weird.
Yeah.
It's my thing.
Yeah, I think I have Light Years, but I think it's a recorded version. I put it on videotape myself. I'm not sure.
There's this. While we're never mind. I think it's slightly irrelevant. I'm just gonna tuck it away. Save it for later, maybe.
You might be able to watch it online just for free.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just type in Light Years in Google and find it.
Yeah. Well, you can do that with most things. Just watch
it's not a new movie. It's an old movie.
Yeah.
1980s.
I mean, I watched Captain America: Civil War online for free, pretty much as soon as it came out.
Well, I don't do, but something.
I do because
like this. No, I like to watch it in full surround sound and all that.
Oh yeah, I watch it with a friend, so I mean, it's not like surround sound's gonna have much of an effect anyway.
There you go. Light Years movie 2013. No. Let me see this trailer. Let me see what this trailer looks like. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, here you go. I'm gonna give you the link so you can watch the trailer. As soon as I find a way to do that. Okay, here we go. Copy.
But yeah, I definitely like Ghost in the Shell. I saw that a few weeks ago, and they basically like created a new species. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. Like the end of it.
Well, yeah. See, now Ghost in the Shell is about AI and enhancements because that's what they're all doing. They all got this shit in their head, these chips in their head. They're communicating. It's all about this virus that was created. Yeah, that's transforming.
Yeah, it was kind of like, how do you define a life? You know, what is the definition of a life? You know, and I really like that. That was interesting.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell.
Based on Arthur C. Kessler's book Ghost in the Machine, where it deals with like the questions about what is the mind and how does it function and how is it formed, and if you were to replace all of its parts, is it still a mind or is it something different?
Yeah, that was the Ghost in the Machine and the Ghost in the Shell. They all use that concept, I think. Who did you say wrote that?
Arthur Kessler, I think it was.
Because that was a large in the movie iRobot. That was the whole line they used. Must have been right out of that book, I guess, about the Ghost in the Machine. If you've ever watched iRobot with
I love that movie
with Will Smith.
Yeah, I love that movie.
There was a whole line in there about the Ghost in the Machine. It must have been right out of that book that he's talking about, Kessler. Anyway, there's the link to Light.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so it's just a trailer. So if you it's definitely strange.
See, I love Will Smith. Will Smith.
He's one of my favorite actors.
He makes even shitty movies watchable.
Yeah, you know, without Will Smith.
Independence Day was only watchable because Will Smith was in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he made it funny. But he made iRobot. I read a long time ago. I don't know if I remember the whole thing, but I read the series iRobot. So a lot of people are saying iRobot the movie wasn't the same, but I kind of disagree. I think it was the same, but it just was very short because it was a movie. But Will Smith made it funny, made it pertinent to the actual writing of the books. But obviously, there's a lot missing out of a movie compared to the actual books. So it was, and they rightfully said it was based on the book iRobot. It wasn't the book iRobot. It was based on the book. So they made that distinction between
or inspired by.
Yeah, there's a difference,
Yeah.
It seems like everything is inspired by something. It's like the beginning of humans.
Yeah, it's just how all art is, I think.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, well, what inspires me to do what I'm doing right now? What inspired me to make those two groups on Facebook? What different things inspire different people for different reasons.
Yeah, and even book
pretty trippy when you think about it.
Yeah, everything can inspire everything, and H.P. Lovecraft is the one guy that inspired me to make my avatar and all that stuff.
I love Lovecraft. Lovecraft is great author. Love him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dead. He's been dead for a long time, but he's a great author.
Yeah, and even to this day, Stephen King has mentioned how Lovecraft himself was someone to be looked up towards, and that somewhat inspired him to make some of those horror books.
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft, one of my favorite authors of all time.
I hate to sound like a retard here, but give me one example, one thing he wrote.
Shadow
Call of Cthulhu, Shadows over Innsmouth,
The Cave,
The Rats in the Walls.
Damn, I don't know any of these. These are all horror books.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They're all horror books.
Maybe that's why, because I'm not too swift on horror.
I love horror.
Sci-fi.
Especially, he has a very unique type of horror, though. It's like this. It's the idea that.
Is there any movie that I should know that was based on a Lovecraft?
I don't think so.
They did do a movie called Dagon, which was based on Shadows over Innsmouth back in 2011, but it was really low budget.
But like his type of horror deals with humans are small and insignificant compared to the rest of the universe, and it sort of like plays on that.
I see.
Like it's like where you are like so tiny and insignificant, you have no effect over what's going on whatsoever, and it's that type of like psychological horror. That's why I love it so much. It's very unique, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're all a bunch of ants in a way. If you step on the ant, it's not going to really change anything.
Exactly. That's what his writing deals with. Definitely one of my favorite authors of all time.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to go to H.P. Lovecraft eventually. Like, as soon as we started talking about sci-fi, I knew this was going to H.P. Lovecraft.
And you was waiting for it. You was waiting for it.
I was. So I could go on a diatribe about how awesome he is.
Yeah.
Like, I know Forbidden agrees with me. Look, he has Cthulhu right there in his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said before, he inspired me to make the Avatar and just about almost everything on my channel. And
hey, look at my profile pic. I could kill my camera for a moment for you to look at it. This is I credit Forbidden Thinker for it, but you could tell if for anyone who's read H.P. Lovecraft, it's very like Lovecraftian inspired. That's a pony Joseph Stalin with like tentacles and stuff. Thank you, Forbidden Thinker, for drawing that for me, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. I even drew another version of you without the hat and the sunglasses.
Yeah. That one's going to be used in like my video refutations and stuff. I've saved it to my computer back here, and I'm going to be using it when I'm like, chopping up videos and refuting them.
Alright.
I already chose the first video I'm going to use it for too. I'm going to be doing a video response to all time 10's 10 lies you were told about Islam. So there's that.
Not to bounce back to an original subject, but since you guys are talking about horror, in that book, Douglas Preston book, The Kraken Project, there's some pretty cool, scary things in it, especially in the beginning. This computer program tries to kill her. Almost succeeds. and then she grows up. And she.
You talking about? What are you talking about here? Light Years Anime or something else?
No, the Kraken. I'm sorry. I'm the Kraken Project.
Kraken Project.
Yeah.
Okay.
This computer program that escaped and went into the internet. It came back and tried to kill the programmer.
Monsters were always.
But in the end, it didn't. In the end, they started to work together. But there's also a really cool part where it went into this somewhere in the Midwest. This kid's father was making these toy robots with actual computers in them. It was in there for a while too, and that became a major part of the story.
So, how many people have watched, or not watched? How many people have read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Oh, I have. That's a good one.
I think I did, but it was like 30 years ago.
I've read it. I've read it too, but that was like 5 years ago.
I read it recently, about 6 months ago. And,
yeah, I read it recently too, and maybe you people will disagree with me on this. I posit that it is the most overrated book in all of history.
It's actually
overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Oh,
it's nowhere near as good as people say it is.
Why do you think it was overrated?
Because I just it like when I read it, I was utterly disappointed, and because people have built up this book to be like an awesome horror book, and to me it just didn't. It didn't jive. It didn't. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, I guess.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I felt the same way after I read The Catcher in the Rye.
You know, the story, the Frankenstein story, is more of a human story than it is a horror story. It's
Yeah.
It's being you're still very young. I'm not quite as young, but even me, I found the story to be kind of old for me. So the writing is a lot different. It's like me trying to read the actual writing of Sherlock Holmes from.
Well, I've read.
And to me the writing is too old for me to read, but I'd love to watch the shows, that sort of thing.
I mean, I've read a lot of stuff by Edgar Allan Poe and stuff and enjoyed it. Like, that's pretty... Like, the language in that, the writing style in that is also pretty antiquated, but I could still find myself able to enjoy it. It's just the story elements in Frankenstein just didn't jive with me.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, man. When people build up something so much and then you actually like read it or watch it, it's like a disappointment. I felt the same
Well,
way
no,
after
I did because I didn't feel like I thought I was gonna feel like that with H.P. Lovecraft. Like Logic Tree and Reese and Forbidden Thinker, they're all like, "Oh, H.P. Lovecraft, his shit's amazing," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed when I read this." And I read it; it was fucking awesome. It was even better than they made it out to be, in my opinion.
That means I failed in my mission to make it awesome. Shoot.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Since you talk about old stories, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to pull it down from the shelf in a minute. There was two movies, one from the 60s and one from the 90s, or 2000, called, yeah. The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, the first one, of course, was corny as shit. The movie was corny as shit. Like, you know, as if that really happens. You know, with the military standing around and like all of a sudden this guy gets shot or whatever. That was off the wall. But older people, my father, for example, would thought that was a good science fiction. The newer version with Keanu Reeves, to me, was much better. To me, it was different. But it was closer to the actual story, which, again, the movie originally was written in the Amazing Stories magazine from the 40s. And I'm going to pull down the story in a minute and I'll show it to you. So this movie was actually based on that, but it was loosely based on it. It was completely changed. The second movie, recent movie with Keanu Reeves, slid towards the actual story more. And, of course, it was just much better to me. So I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to surprise you. Hang on.
All right, and you know, going back to like H.P. Lovecraft's like sort of writing style, and like that, I have the opposite opinion that I do Frankenstein with the movie Cloverfield, which is like a found footage film, and most people said it was like absolute shit, but I enjoyed Cloverfield. I thought it was a good movie.
The actual story is Farewell to the Master.
Okay.
And it was written in 1943-ish. And it's literally a short story, like 100 pages long or less. Harry Bates is the one who wrote it, and he had a pen name called Winston. He was writing in Astounding Magazine, which was a pulp fiction magazine way back when.
Way back when.
Before I was born, anyway. So, yeah, I would recommend you try to look this up. I got this from what they call the library, the net library or something. I don't know if this website exists anymore, but they used to have all these old stories free, and I downloaded it and printed it like 20 years ago, and I still have it. So it's one of my favorite things to have. Farewell to the Master.
You said what movie was based on that? With Keanu Reeves?
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
The Day the Earth Stood Still, but actually the first movie way back from the 60s, the corny one, was based on this. And this was written in the 1940s.
Okay, I'm going to look it up real quick, because honestly I never even heard of it.
You ever heard of The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Keanu Reeves version was much better. And it was actually closer to this story, but it was still different. They still didn't have... I can't give it away. They still didn't have the things that were in this story. I actually like the movie better than the story, but there's, you know, you're talking about in the 1940s, writing science fiction in the 1940s. There really was no such thing as science fiction in the 1940s. This sort of started the genre, which is why the movie was so promoted and so talked about, even if it was corny as shit at the time. Farewell to the Master. And the reason why the movie with Keanu Reeves was more accurate was because you find out that Keanu Reeves wasn't the Master. The space guy wasn't the Master. The Master was that big robot thing. And that is said in the story. But it wasn't said in the first movie. In the first movie, it was all about the spaceman. Now I gotta pick up what I dropped. If I can get at it. Okay. I'm getting there.
You guys like did you guys like Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that
did not.
too.
I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was funny, but it was corny.
I love this though.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it, of course it is.
Well, do you know? Since you asked the question, do you know what short story that was based on? From?
No, I don't.
We can remember it for you wholesale. Philip K. Dick.
Bastard! I knew that too. I just didn't.
I have the whole collection of Philip K. Dick.
I loved it. I thought it was funny because it was so cheesy.
Yeah, it was cheesy.
But the storyline was really good.
It was
the whole
entertaining.
storyline, the whole philosophy behind it. It was really good.
Well, see, it depends on who makes the movie. Now, it was a cheesy movie, but it was entertaining. There's a lot of Philip K. Dick stories out there in movies you don't even realize. Blade Runner. That's a cult classic.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's a damn good movie. That's a cult classic. That is also a Philip K. Dick short story. The name of that one is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And that's about AI, and that's about artificial intelligence and androids and shit like that. So, like I said, there's a lot of sci-fis out there with had to do with androids and AI and human enhancement and all that shit.
I like the ending because you just don't know. Like the end of Total Recall, like you just don't know. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Blade Runner. Yeah, the ending of Blade Runner was it?
Oh yeah, the end of the Blade Runner was tight too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Blade Runner was a much better movie. But it's the
agree.
same writer. I mean, the story writer, the actual stories were written by Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely ahead of his time. I like the suspense feel to it too. That was nice.
Alrighty, fellas. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna kill this stream and head out. I mean, you guys can stay if you want, but
no, I'm gonna go too.
You guys want to plug anything? Go ahead. Starnes Bone, you first.
I'm going to be making more anti-Islam videos on my channel, not to be confused with anti-Muslim videos. So if you're interested in that, come subscribe and shit. Or don't. I don't care.
Patrick, go ahead.
Oh, aside from the two writers I just told you about, July 4th, our Independence Day. The Juno spacecraft, which was launched in 2011, is going to reach Jupiter, and they're going to do this thing called the Jupiter Orbit Insertion, JOI. There's a trailer I posted a few times, from NASA to talk about it. But I would recommend on July 4th, everybody get pinned to the NASA YouTube channel and see if they can watch the streaming process that it takes to, put this thing into orbit around Jupiter. It's real science, people, real science.
Life, go ahead. If you want to plug something or yourself, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, man, thanks for having me, man. It was fun. I'll definitely be joining another one of your Google Hangouts, man.
Well, I try to have them every Friday and Sunday, so just to let you know.
All right, man. Cool. I appreciate it.
No problem. Grant, go ahead.
I'd like to say I'd like to hang out in discussion, but I still think you're all crazy. I mean, it'd be so much easier if I could mind control you all and I could control the world. It'd be so simpler, but oh well.
Yeah, we all need Super Jesus. Anyway. This has been,
I'm Cthulhu and I control all.
Okay.
We all worship Lord Cthulhu.
This has been Reality Sunday. This has been your host, Atheist Ranger. If you guys like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. You all have a good night.